Perhaps we need some outside universal threat to make us recognize this common bound. I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
As we get ready for Geraldine Orozco and the Spiritual You. We got a good night planned for you. We got Swamp Dweller in hour number 3. We got a brand new feature that I'm going to keep quiet. And, of course, we got the Magic 8 Ball, Shirky Poo's news, and so much more. But before we get going, ladies and gentlemen, let us say hello to everyone in the chat room tonight. Race fan in the gold medal position. The gorgeous and talented Kira takes home a silver, and Grandpa Holland with a bronze medal. K-Man 847, welcome to our channel. Thanks for joining us. Hi, Nicola. Gorgeous Aussie Ange, how you doing? Gorgeous Aussie Ange, by the way, will be signing autographs after the show. Line up to the left of the studio, if you don't mind. To the left of the studio. We have our main man, Jeffrey DeRuin, down in Texas. How you doing, buddy? Sunsaver, what's happening? George Almaraz, thank you for coming on in. The gorgeous Cat Chaser, how are you? Blue Chicken, nice to have you here. Too much information. Awesome Ann Palmer, thanks for joining us. Hello, gorgeous Kimberly, welcome back. Mama Susan, how are you, my dear? Thank you for joining us as we rock and roll into the roll call. And who is next here? Well, let's take a look as we scroll on down. Ed Clater's here. The Ed Clater, ladies and gentlemen. Mennonite Abe, good to see you. As we say hello to Fapster tonight. Welcome, Fapster. Gorgeous Nikki. Terry Brown, thank you for coming on in. And who else do we have here? There's our man, Millennium. Thanks for joining us. Peppa H, good to see you. The lovely Kathy Evans, thanks for coming on in. And who else we got? Spooky Morales and Obi Flett, thank you for joining us. Ufologist is here. Ufologist will be signing autographs after the show as well. Line up to the right of the studio, if you don't mind, to the right of the studio. Here we go with roll call still going on as we say hello to 5,900 Buck. And Chad Smith is here, everyone. The Chad Smith. Goober Bear, nice to have you here. 405er, good to see you. Richard Elmore, thank you for joining us. As we continue on with roll call, there's Nightmare, Big Willie, thanks for joining us. And who else have we got here? Lee Poping, good to see you. The lovely and talented Divine Diamond has returned. Phil Minervino, good to see you. Project Blue Book, Para-Urban Ontario, Big Bad Derek, how are you, man? Brown Dot Flop, nice to have you here. The beautiful Becky Belling makes her surprise return here in 2022, just 4 days in. The Michael Leger, everyone. The Michael Leger is here. And who else do we have here? Let's see here. We got Goober Bear. There's Paul Holland. And Stone Hobbit. Loving the Stone Hobbit. Rono what's going on? Thanks for joining us. Enzo, good to see you, my friend. Larry A, Mike Palumbo, nice to have you here. The gorgeous Avi May has returned. The stunning Amy Vegas O is here. Alien Critter, good to see you. Xochitl Paez, looking absolutely perfect tonight. Let's see here. Hey, Clam, welcome home. Pam McSee, looking lovely. Thank you for joining us. We're running out of time here. Mr. Catfish, how are you? And, oh my God, Geraldine looks stunning tonight. She flat ironed her hair. Holy cow. Holy cow. And You got to see this. Just
I
holy cow!
I
That's good
actually can't
flat
hear you.
Can you hear me?
Let me change. Hold on a second.
All right, I'm going to mute you. All right, Chardotton, welcome back to the show. Happy 2022 to you. Indrid Cold, good to see you. Lullaby, looking lovely. Diesel Girl, rev it up, lady. And lovely Lynn LeBlanc, welcome back.
Hi, Dave.
Hi, Geraldine. How are you?
I'm great. How are you? So sorry about that. I could not hear you or get my mic to work. I guess it's been a while.
That's okay. We're going on in 10 seconds. As you can
Okay.
see, we have the lovely and talented Geraldine Orozco here. And horns up, everyone. Let's rock it out. From the mountains of central British Columbia to you listening around the world, this, my friends, is Spaced Out Radio. I am your host, Dave Scott, sitting in the captain's chair of SOR headquarters. We welcome you to tonight's show on our terrestrial affiliates around North America, digitally on TalkStream Live, Revolution Radio, and KPNL. All of our archives are free. Go to youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio. Do old Davey the favor, hit that subscribe button. You can follow us on Twitter at Spaced Out Radio, Instagram at Spaced Out Radio Show, and now on TikTok at Spaced Out Radio. Our website is spacedoutradio.com. We have a plethora of features for you. Rock out to Bumblefoot, read Shirky Poo's Newswire, check out our swag as well. Tonight's show is brought to you by Chive Charities. Help make the world 10% happier by visiting Chive Charities today. You can find them on our website. Man, do we have a great show for you planned tonight. We have Geraldine Orozco coming up here momentarily. Then in hour number 3, as Geraldine will be with us for the first 2 hours, we are going to go into the swamp and bring you the latest story from Swamp Dweller. Might be on Bigfoot. After that, a brand new feature here on Spaced Out Radio. I'm going to keep that a little quiet right now. Then at the back end, we have our Magic 8-Ball segment, Captain Shirk's News, and the thought of the Dave. It's a jam-packed show once again, and it's a new year and a new you, which is why we're glad to have Geraldine Orozco back for the Spiritual You. An ET contactee, spiritual healer, and life counselor, Geraldine runs Bay Area Meditation out of San Francisco, California, where she literally helps counsel people from all around the world. Her DNA pre-programming is second to none. I should know, I've had it. And she uses her own experiences to help others find themselves. Her website, GeraldineOrozco.com. And I'm telling you, she's kicking off the new year. If you can't see her on radio, that's too bad for you. But that's a nice flat ironing and layering combination on your hair for 2022, Geraldine.
Thank you so much. It's so good to be here. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you and everybody that's here. It's such a pleasure to be here again.
How was your holidays?
Amazing. Much needed rest and getting revved up for an amazing year. This year is going to be incredible, so I'm really excited.
What did you do over the holidays?
I actually went into a silent retreat for 2 weeks, and it was just really great to cleanse all of the heaviness of this last year. It was a really heavy year, so it was really nice to just kind of disconnect and recenter and kind of refocus what we're going to be doing for this coming year, which is a lot of exciting new things. So it was just reset time.
Okay, so when you go into one of these retreats to just kind of delve into yourself for a little while, what goes on there? Is it all meditation and humming and maybe hitting a little triangle every now and again? Do you eat? Do you drink? What happens there?
Absolutely, eat and drink. It's all about just coming back to the body, feeling the body and being in the present moment, which can be very difficult when we're busy with our everyday lives. And I have an incredibly heavy schedule through the week and through the year. I've been working nonstop this past year more than ever with 3-4 sessions a day, and they can be very energetically draining. So it takes time. And then when I have conferences or events on the weekend, I'm just always on the run trying to be present. So sometimes it can be really taxing on the body. So what we did was kind of just take a time away from that and just refocus. And it's really just about slowing way down to the point where you're mindful of your senses, you're mindful of how you're feeling. And it can be interesting because a lot of emotions that you might not have noticed that you're storing in the body come up. And that's when you start to get clarity. So it was a very humbling experience to recognize all the emotions that, have not been acknowledged perhaps, and work on them, address them, understand them better, and journey deeper into that emotional journey, which is something that we all need to do. Take some time. Yeah.
So what did Geraldine find within herself?
Oh, wow. Yeah, you know what? A lot of stuff. A lot of things that are occurring in the world around us. Something that's really interesting is that every month there seems to be a theme for healing, collective theme. And apparently there's some themes over the past year primarily about the divine feminine healing. And what is the feminine? The feminine is intuition. So anytime that we mistrust our intuition, anytime that we doubt the things that are coming up, that was a big theme for this past year. So this is something that, I'm looking in myself, looking in my work, looking in how we're progressing, how I'm building courses for the next year to target those parts and support those parts. And that's kind of the thing. And so this next year is about surrendering. Like complete surrender into the present moment, surrender into the emotions that are difficult, surrender into things that we're observing, and completely coming into less judgment of anything. And that can be kind of hard because with a busy life and busy mind, it's very easy to judge things and try to categorize things. So pulling away from that habit is something that we have to kind of nurture ourselves through that process. So that's something that was really worked on.
It sounds like you're kicking off your new year as a very, very strong and focused year for 2022. And that is awesome. That is absolutely awesome that you're able to do that. When you shift yourself into a reprogramming of what you like and what you want to accomplish, how does that change your overall lifestyle?
Completely. And it's not about the lifestyle that changes. The lifestyle is a side effect because your lifestyle and your surroundings, your environment is your body. So whatever is happening in your body, if there's a lot of chaos and turmoil in your body, if you're fearful all the time about the things that you're experiencing, that's going to be mirrored in your experiences, in your relationships, in the things that happen, how you manifest things in your life. So really, this is the essential building blocks of life, is to understand what you're doing in your every present moment. If you're in fear, in doubt, all of those little subconscious emotions that come up are basically literally choosing timelines in the present moment. And every time that we have a thought, it's like a fracture of timeline that's created. And in order to reintegrate, so we create infinite numbers of timelines because of your thoughts. Just one thought is creating one timeline. It's a potential timeline. Depending on how much time and energy you put towards that thought, it's going to manifest more in the physical, and it's going to interconnect with people, places, and things that match that vibrational frequency. So as we splinter off these timelines, when we go back to healing, when we go into the moment of silence, we're looking at all these timelines start coming up, all these emotions, all this stored anxiety starts to come up, and we don't realize why we're feeling that way until we sit with that. And that's when we begin to understand how many splintered timelines we're juggling in the subconscious mind. So when you begin to reintegrate, the integration is revisiting all of the splintered timelines that you created subconsciously throughout your day. And so the idea is that you do this from morning to night and try to dedicate some time, at least before you go to bed. And you'll notice that if you are mindful and present throughout the day, it'll be very easy to acknowledge where you created these splinter timelines of emotions. If you're not conscious and you're on auto mode and you're in hypnosis, you're probably going to have a hard time even realizing what you did in that day. So it's really, really important to kind of focus every moment to keep your awareness, with you at all times.
Now, at this time of year, we have a bunch of people making these idiotic New Year's resolutions. I call them idiotic because I've never stuck to one, but that's just me. And so if I don't like it, it's just idiotic. But, I got to ask you, in regards to New Year's resolutions, I mean, a lot of us have troubles changing our lives. We start off the new year, new you, whole theme that we do, and then we go someplace else. What's the difference between creating a resolution and manifesting a change?
Yeah, so when it's creation, they're both creations, right? Creating a resolution, but manifestation, so we need to understand creation is part of the mechanic of manifestation. But in order to create, you have to understand what goes into creation. What goes into creation is a directed vibrational frequency, and the vibrational frequency is made up of your subconscious thoughts. So your subconscious thoughts, the majority of us, we're just in hypnosis. So a lot of times we're just going with emotion, totally unaware of why we're even feeling the way we do. We're just reacting, automatically reacting. And we're reacting because there are things, we're programs that we're holding on to, programs that are created from childhood, from traumas, all these things that we're holding on to. So the more that we begin to understand the programs, we can understand where our energy and our attention is being directed in our creation. If our most of our day is in survival mode and we're fearful and doubtful of ourselves, if we have anxiety, we have insecurities, we have all these emotions, that's where all your energy is going into creating, and that's what you're creating. You're creating events that will magnify these insecurities, fears, anxieties. So you're kind of just continuing creating in that direction. So what I call that is counter creation, because rather than manifesting, all you're doing is going and swimming in laps in your own swimming pool of programs. And so you're not really manifesting anything. So it's really important to understand that we need to change our fundamental belief system in order to manifest, which means that in the present moment, the moment that's right now, you have the ability of creating based on your thoughts. So if right now the thought is, I am well, I am safe, I am here, I honor the body, I respect this body, and I'm going to create and I'm going to do things that are in alignment with my whole self. So I'm aware of myself, of my family, my situation, my finances, my business. I'm aware of all these things. Now I'm going to make a decision that is in alignment with all of those puzzle pieces of my life. We're going to begin to shift all of the things moving forward. And this is really what manifestation is about. We are shifting the collective. It's not just these tiny little things. And we need to start thinking more broad rather than have this myopic view where it's just survival. So me right now, am I okay in this moment? Am I surviving? Am I fearful? And just reacting in that little loop. So it's just really shifting into a broader way of creation. And the beautiful thing about that is that we are so interconnected in our networks with our families and friends that in reality we're co-creating together. And we do so in families, we do so in cities and societies and cultures, in larger, your extended families, your friends circle. All of the people that are in your life are participating in the co-creation of your life right now. So notice the kind of friends that you have. Are they in alignment with your purpose? Are they out of alignment with your purpose? All of these things matter. You need to, it's vibration. Vibrational frequency is essential. And so if you're not aware of what you're feeling at all times, then, you're also not going to know what you're creating, and it's just going to create more chaos.
My son hit me with a little bit of a gut punch today.
Oh, yeah?
And I picked him up from his guitar lesson. And the kid is just, he's already blown past what I know. And he asked me out of the blue today, he's like, Dad, why do you get so upset? when you're practicing guitar and
Mm-hmm.
you hit a wrong note. And I, I usually try to be reasonable with those type of questions, because the way my father used to act to me was, it was immediately get mad, shut up, and don't, we don't talk about it, and then get into a Coke versus Pepsi battle, right?
Uh-huh.
And so I said to him, well, sometimes Daddy gets frustrated because things aren't working. And he's like, well, that's why you have to keep practicing, Dad. And I had to explain to him how I suffer from anxiety.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That when I do things wrong, it fires up my anxiety, and my anxiety causes anger sometimes, and frustration within myself, because I can't do something that I feel I should be able to do. So I had to have this very mature conversation with him
Wow.
about anxiety and what I go through. And now he's all worried about whether or not he's going to get anxiety. I'm like, no, dude, just live life fun and free. That's what you need to do. Just live life fun and free, and it'll go good. But it's amazing where you can get these little life lessons, even from the most, innocent of minds.
Absolutely. And children are way more aware and more connected. At this age, this is a very important age as parents to kind of energetically set the mood for and the intention for how we're going to create their programs, because they begin to kind of adapt the same programs that we had in our lives. So, and we know how much suffering anxiety causes us, in our lives. It limits our ability to expand. It limits our ability to do things. And so, if we can start to shift that way that we feel about anxiety in our own self, the child also picks up on that. So it's really wonderful that you were able to shift the thought from, that, you're kind of, that we are victimized, or that we're helpless in the situations of anxiety, and now feeling more empowered, that we can actually choose. And I guess the next step would be to show presence, to show how it feels comfortable to be in a present moment, it's difficult sometimes.
Oh, trust me, I had to bite my tongue on that conversation, because it could have went in so many different directions. It really could have, because when I start talking about it, much like other people, when the bow breaks, the cradle falls. When the cradle falls, Dave's a big mess with the words that he creates all over the place that just spew out. But I mean, mentally speaking, at the beginning of the year, as we shifted on back, we tend to try and be stronger, or we think we're stronger at the beginning of a year. And spiritually speaking, we try to, bite that bottom lip, and we're going to fight the good fight. We're going to do things the right way. We're going to eat well, quit smoking, drink less, party less, pay more attention to our family and spouses and partners. And we just, after about 7 days, we're like, yeah, hell with that. Let's just go back to what's comfortable.
Well, but then think about how much suffering we have when we are in that comfort zone. And you said such a perfectly wise thing, because that's the problem. We become comfortable with suffering, believe it or not. It seems so counterintuitive, and it's like, why would you be comfortable in a place that causes you so much discomfort and suffering? And so a lot of times when we're in survival mode, we continue these patterns of soothing that little inner child. Most of the time, it's the child that's crying out, trying to get love, attention, affection, to feel safe, in their body, in their environment, in their work, in their relationship. And so, if we listen to that child that's crying out, all the time, by creating all these events that are causing problems in our life, and blockages, and inability to manifest and to become successful, or whatever it is that we're trying to do in our lives, we can begin to change. And when we look at it that way, it becomes easier to work with the anxiety, or with any of these emotions that we have. It's a redirection of your attention. If you see yourself as the child that needs something and you acknowledge immediately what you need by that action that's causing you suffering, like in this example, we're talking about anxiety. It feels anxiety because the child feels unsafe. So if you can help the child feel safe, just let them know, remind them, I'm safe in this moment. I am conscious, I'm aware, I'm present. You're protected. I trust you. That's a really big thing. We don't trust the self. So the more we learn how to trust the self, we can begin to dissipate these kinds of emotions that inner child is having. And it really changes the way that we begin living life, because now it's more mindful, it's more genuine, it's more authentic, instead of going back to this pattern that's actually creating so much more suffering, because we're not moving anywhere from that place. And then we keep coming to these roadblocks where we're thinking, what happened? It's like, I never change out of this place. Nothing ever gets better. I keep feeling the same way. And we can be living lives that go way beyond that. We can be living lives that are healthy, that are vibrant, that are manifesting really our wildest dreams. And we can do that. So we need to learn that this present moment is magnificently powerful, and the mind mastering over those emotions and fears and that little inner child, and helping that child reassure it and teaching it what love is, what it is to have a parent, what it is to have affection, what it is to feel love. Because all of us in this entire world have been raised without knowing that. When we come in and our memory is swiped, we forget what love is, we forget what all those things are. So we have to teach ourselves. There's nobody that knows that immediately coming in. So, yeah.
We got 3 minutes before we have to go to break at the bottom of the hour. Geraldine Orozco, the spiritual you, continues on. As the year goes on and as we start to get more comfortable within ourselves and get back into the groove of things, the holidays are over, the credit card bills haven't been paid yet, so we're still kind of smiling and, feeling festive through it all. How do we feed off of this positive, good energy that comes off the holiday to set that tone?
Yeah, that's a really, really important point, because a lot of people feel depressed after the Christmas tree and the decorations and all the festive emotions go. And even I noticed the lady at the checkout in the grocery store, even her smile that she had, for the last 3 months of the holidays, it's now back to, a very serious frown. But and that's really interesting, because that's conditioning. We're conditioned and we've been deeply programmed to kind of put this facade of joy and happiness during the holidays. But again, this is a huge misunderstanding of what life is about. Our joy and our happiness and our fulfillment should never go from anything outside of us. It should always be self-fulfilled. It should always be self-provided. And our programming makes us seek outside for those things. And that's where we end up having suffering, because it goes against the natural laws of our existence. Our existence says everything is within this body, the mind, the body, the soul. We are the alpha, the omega, positive and negative, the father and the mother. These two energies are maintaining balance. And so to provide that for yourself will provide a sustained joy throughout the entire life, not just during the holidays. Remember, that's just an illusion. We have to go back to the body where things are real, to the emotions, to the experience.
Is the body real, though?
Oh, well, there you go. That's a whole nother conversation, right? Yeah, it's the realest thing, because it's the realest of this hologram, okay? And it's let's say it exists beyond this dimensional plane. In this dimensional plane, we're made up of little, cells that are oscillating all together to create this vessel that is the human body. But in reality, we're more empty space than we are this matter, right? But what keeps this together, it's the vibrational frequencies that are working together to create this organism called your multidimensional body. And you're existing on more than one dimensional plane. You're existing on 13 dimensional planes. You're constantly moving in and out of those planes. So the more in the body aware and present you are, the more you're going to know what's going on, because a lot of things are happening around you. And if you're in hypnosis and unaware and sleeping, you're going to have to experience more heavy densities that knock you out of that hypnosis and cause you suffering, as opposed to more high experiences that help you explore something that are less in this physical survival body,
Geraldine Orozco, the spiritual you. This is why we bring her here, because she always gives us a high-quality life lesson on how to improve ourselves and our ET contact. More with Geraldine at GeraldineOrozco.com on Spaced Out Radio right after this. No offense, I'm laughing here because I'm going to see something here. What's the temperature in San?
Oh, you can hear my heater. Oh my God, that heater's definitely, it's been so cold here.
It is 52 Fahrenheit, 11 Celsius.
Where?
So in San Francisco right now.
Let me see. Let me tell you what it is here. Let me see, because it's actually pretty cold here. Let's see. I'm gonna compete with my 2 degrees. Oh, never mind. It is 54. Fine.
Okay. So I will show you mine here. All right.
Oh, Dave, sending you heating. Sending you heating.
Oh yeah, just send me the heat. Just send me the heat. Send me the heat.
You know what? I'm gonna plug in my computer while you're doing that. Give me 1 second.
All right. Here you go, Geraldine.
I really cannot complain. Oh my gosh. Really, truly.
Yeah, that's
10
Fahrenheit.
degrees Fahrenheit. Holy moly.
And, well, at least it's not snowing tonight or tomorrow.
Wow.
But the 3 days after that are snow.
Jeez, but does it get that cold when it snows? Let me see. Hold on. Let me see. Oh, the lowest. My gosh, goes down to 27. That's freezing.
Fahrenheit, the lowest it'll go is 60.
Unbelievable. You are amazing. All of you that live up there up north, I don't know, your systems are just incredible. My body wasn't built for that kind of cold.
Oh, there's my little radio screen. You can see it flashing there. Ooh, Dave has commercials. All right, there you go. Let's see who's arrived here. Let's see here. Were you on your phone? Is that where oh, she stalled. Yep, she's gonna there she is. Can you hear us? Can you hear us?
See me?
I can see you.
Did I get disconnected?
You did there for a second.
Okay, good. I'm back. See, I should have plugged it right in.
So what's with the new hairdo?
Oh, just a little change, a little different thing. I do this from time to time.
That's a win in my books.
Yeah? Oh, that's good. I'm so glad to hear that. Yeah.
Hello,
I don't do it very often because it's very very requiring.
Well, I know the feeling. I'll put mine down. I got mine pulled back.
Yeah, what are we doing with that? Ooh, very nice. Look at how long. My God,
I'm getting there. I'm getting there.
That's amazing.
Gotta look good for Vegas, because when you show up, I'm going to be like, oh my God, there's Geraldine. Now I gotta compete.
Compete. Why would you compete?
I'm just saying.
This is so nice. It's so nice that you're doing the Vegas thing. I hope everybody comes. It's going to be so wonderful.
Yes. Hi, gorgeous Jessica McCreary. How are you? Loving the red.
Oh, thank you. I felt like a bright color, starting the year off strong.
Must be nice.
How was your holiday? How was it? Did you get lots of little...
Besides freezing, I had a great Christmas and New Year.
Oh, that's so great.
And I got to shoot my son with a Nerf gun a number of times, which is good. Got to watch him play on his virtual reality headset, which was fun. I pushed my boundaries on eating this holiday, and now I gotta get back on track again. But I will do it. I will do it.
Dave, as long as you eat with joy, like real joy and presence, it actually doesn't really matter what you eat, to be
I
honest
know,
with you.
but you know what I have to do? I have to only eat until I'm hungry, until I'm full.
Okay, right. That's presence. Exactly. You got it.
I have to have clear presence on filling my plate up too full. Like tonight, for instance, I had a great cabbage and mushroom and garlic dish with some asparagus on the side. I had
Oh my gosh.
a vegetarian dinner.
That sounds delicious.
I was not craving the chicken that went along with it. So
Oh, wow.
anyway,
There you go.
thank you to Cat Chaser for the awesome super chat. Here we go with the second half hour, and we'll get Geraldine to lead us into where we're going. Second half hour of Spaced Out Radio is now underway. My name is Dave Scott. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us. We really do appreciate earning your listening ears. I want to remind you that if you missed portions of this show or others, check out our free archives by going to youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio. Do me the favor, hit that subscribe button. Our website is spacedoutradio.com. We have a plethora of features for you, including rocking out to Bumblefoot, reading Shirky Poo's Blues Newswire, and checking out our swag as well. Follow us on Twitter at Spaced Out Radio, Instagram at Spaced Out Radio Show, and now on TikTok at Spaced Out Radio. We continue on tonight with Geraldine Orozco's The Spiritual You. Geraldine is here once a month, near the beginning of each month, to tell us how to improve our Zen, our Chi, and our spiritual guidance for each and every one of us. Geraldine's website, GeraldineOrozco.com. Welcome back, Geraldine.
Thank you so much. Once again, Happy New Year to everyone, and all my love to you. Thank you for being here.
Well, we always appreciate it when you are here. Now, I know you had an abundance of topics that you wanted to get to tonight.
Yeah, I think we started off exactly where we wanted to come into, and that's really taking a look at what this year is about and training ourselves to go into surrender. One of the things that is really coming up is the present, which is something that we hear a lot about, but we don't really do very much, you know. So it's really about learning how to be friends with the present moment. Happy New Year's. Nose, thank you so much for being here. Nose on scent. So, what
do you mean by being with the present?
Yeah. So, you know what happens is that we kind of decide not to be friends with the present moment because of traumas that we've experienced. Usually in childhood, things or parents or family or friends that have kept us feeling that we need to protect and preserve parts of us that have become vulnerable, or it's not safe to be vulnerable. So the more we become friends with vulnerability, the more we're becoming friends with surrender and the present moment. Because in the present moment, anything can happen, anything can occur, whether we categorize it as positive or negative, it depends on our perspective. And that's something that when we hear that, it kind of makes us stress out a little, because we're thinking, well, what do you mean? It could be something pretty terrible. And how would I be able to cope with that? Well, if we maintain our inner calm and inner awareness, our inner presence, when these things occur, because we're friends with that surrender, we enter a state of fluidity, and we're no longer tied to certain personalities, certain expectations, certain perceptions, certain ideas about what we should be experiencing in the moment. Because believe it or not, our programs of fear and even our programs of love and joy and happiness, they limit us from expanding. So we end up having very repetitive lives where we're only living in the little parameters of safety that we created for ourselves. And this really harms us in that because we are this multidimensional organism, we come into this physical body, we incarnate into the families with specific puzzle pieces of vibrational frequency to feel certain things, to experience certain things. And all of the traumas that we've had are little building blocks for an incredible life that once we transcend those blockages and trauma, each one of you is set up for an incredible expression of greatness. And we limit our ability to reach that greatness because we keep, again, swimming in that little swimming pool of fears and programs that are limiting. So this idea that you are made for something much more expansive can be intimidating. And because we are trained to be afraid of the unknown. And that's what fear is. Fear is the fear of being an unknown. It's the concept of separation, that we are separate from ourselves, from the whole, from the mother. That's what it is, because when we're born, we come from one to two. We are separating ourselves from the mother. So we experience that kind of separation infinitely in fractals. We experience that from source. We experience that as we fragment into dimensional expressions. And we experience that in the body, where we have all kinds of different perceptions of things, emotions, vibrational frequencies in the body. So we are learning how to experience a plethora and a spectrum of experiences. And so our job is to just experience them, to observe ourselves in those experiences. That's actually the purpose of this life. And this year will really accentuate that. And we had the preparation of the past 2 years of incredible amounts of unknown situations that left us frazzled and looking for a footing, right? In sanity, in what's true, in what's right, in our own safety, in our own bodies. All of these things kind of made us feel so unsafe. So now we have to really just ground in that uncertainty and use it to our advantage to go beyond our limiting beliefs into something that is greater. So all the things that you wish that you can create and achieve this year, build yourself up, not by expecting to achieve them, but being okay with whatever is going to happen, knowing that you're safe, creating a safe and really strong foundation inside the body. This is the building block of all co-creation. So this is something that I would really love to invite our listeners to do this month, specifically as January coming into the new year. This is not a moment away from your life. This is your life. This is in the present moment. This is right now, whatever you're doing. Just pull your attention for 1 millisecond into your body and where you are, your hand, look at your hand, look at your feet, feel the breath coming in your body, listen to all the sounds that are available and around you, and just check in. And observe the emotion that's in the body. A lot of us are like really, really tense all the time. Even myself, I found myself going into my retreat really tense, with a lot of tension. And I didn't realize how much in survival mode I was myself coming into this retreat, even though I meditate daily. It's little anxieties, little fears, little things people say. It's this constant feeling of wanting to control things that are around us. We want to control what people do. We want to control what they say. We want to control how they react. And it's such a joke, because even if we create all these things to control them, we can never control what they might do, because that's what consciousness is. Consciousness is the expression that as you observe it, it begins to change. That's what we are. And when we observe ourselves, we also change. So just taking a look at that and noticing how becoming more fluid is incredibly expansive, healthy, the root work for manifestation and healing. So if you're trying to heal something in your life right now, if you're ill, this is the key. This is the key of empowerment. And I can go really deep into the mechanics of that. But literally, when we're in survival mode, we're not allowing that source to flow through us. We are blocking it, and that's what causes illness, because it's like a leaf that you cut off the water source coming into the body. Of course, the leaf is going to dry up, and so you end up with all kinds of problems. So I think it's really important that we educate ourselves on the mechanics of creation of the physical body, so that we can begin to change things and get out of these little stuff, these ruts that we tend to put ourselves in. So that's a really important thing that I wanted to talk about.
Normally I save questions for hour number 2, but this one's kind of important. And this one comes from Jan. How do you get over a lot of loss? It's very difficult. She had family dying and other losses as well in 2021.
Yes, Jan, I completely relate to you, because I also had a lot of loss this year. And because of that, and that's kind of what brought me into thinking this. What is it that makes loss so difficult? Well, there's 2 parts to loss. One part is that the part of us that has to grieve that something has left our space. So we won't have the opportunity to exchange with this person, with this pet. Even people lost a lot of pets as well. Whatever it is that you care for, that you feel that you lost. When we disconnect from that, we feel that we are lost something. But if anybody has ever experienced the death of someone, or even an animal, you notice that when you're holding their physical body, their light literally leaves. The energy leaves that body. So you have to remember that that physical expression of them, that body, that being, that personality of them is temporary. That's not who they are. What is what they are, and this also from experience of a near-death experience, leaving the body, that this body is such a temporary little vessel, that essence that leaves the body is actually a multidimensional energy. It's a frequency, and it can never be separate or disconnected from you. So when we experience this kind of loss, we really need to shift our perspective from the idea that we have lost something to understanding that all it did was transform. Okay, so that's the first part. The second part of grief is how we deal with our emotions in relation to how we exchanged with this individual, this personality. And sometimes people end up with a lot of regrets and thinking about experiences that they had, or things that they should have done or could have done. A lot of different emotions, all kinds of things that you can feel when you experience loss. So it's important to sit and address those as soon as you have grieved enough. When you have, it's good to get those emotions out, but we have to have a certain end point for this grief. And let's say 1-2 years is acceptable for continuing these emotions. They might be triggered by memories and things that happen around us. But once we reach that point, we have to begin to do some healing and become aware of why those things caused us suffering. So this is the 2 parts, and this is actually the most important, because what we don't realize is that these leftover emotions, thoughts, memories are actually the gift that this person has brought to us in our life. That is the lesson. Their presence in our life, that was the value that it brought. It brings growth for us, transformation, learning, acceptance, love. And so take an opportunity for this incredible moment that you're experiencing of being a human experiencing loss, to use that into a transformational growth, an opportunity for shifting. What lessons did you learn from the person's life? You can see so much and learn so much from that, and look in relationship to yourself. So this is really important. It's important to accept the things that have occurred and why they have occurred in that way, and learn from them, because we don't want to go down that route when we're on our deathbed. It's also a wonderful opportunity to work with death and how we feel about death, right? Because we are all working towards death. All of us are in our life every moment experiencing little deaths here and there. So let's become friends with death. This is the invitation that experience brings to you, Jan. But my deepest condolences for your loss, and just know that you have a family and that you're supported, protected, and guided. You're not alone. We are all experiencing death all the time, actually. So we have to become friends with it.
How do we prepare our lives for that inevitable? When we see strong people, say our parents or our siblings, who used to be stronger than life, all of a sudden looking like they are knocking on death's door. How do we prepare for that?
So, to begin with, this is actually something that when I first came into my awakening, it was the entryway into questioning the spiritual, the non physical. And what you begin to realize is that um, death is the thing that we fear the most, ultimately. It's actually what changes the kind of decisions that we make throughout our life. It changes the relationships that we have. It changes the things that we choose to eat, the choices and the careers that we make. We don't realize how much influence death actually has on our everyday life because we are constantly in survival mode. So we might think that we're constantly avoiding death, by the choices that we make. But in reality, because of our lack of awareness and surrender to our experience and presence in our moments, we're actually building and working towards death more so than not. And it's really this interesting, conflicting kind of ideas that we have about life. It's an inversion of what's true. When we deal with death, we think about impermanence, and we need to accept, first and foremost, that we are impermanent. Everything is impermanent. And it's that impermanence, actually, that allows for transformation to take place. All these cycles of impermanence, whether it's plants, whether it's animals, whether it's our entire nature system in the world, whether it's the ecological systems, whether it's our physical body, we are constantly cycling. Our cells are regenerating in the body. So we just need to kind of mature our understanding that death is all around us all the time. It's in us and around us. We are this constant regeneration. We are that death and rebirth. Every morning that you wake up, think of your life as an entire lifetime. What are you doing in that lifetime from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to sleep? Because every day you can die. Something can happen, right? But we're not going to think about that because otherwise we're going to limit the experiences that you can have potentially in that lifetime of a day. So if you think of all the lifetimes day by day that you can experience, imagine the incredible things that your life can be filled with. You would be a different person if you knew that, your one day is a lifetime, because it shifts the perspective from being in survival into creating, which means that you've understood that it's impermanent and that it's okay to experience, again, those ranges of emotions. They can be positive, they can be negative. All of that is a part of this process from light to dark, all those different shades of experiences and emotions. So if you live life just allowing those things to come and go like visitors, like emotions in the body, we tend to have a more enriching life. And also the body doesn't have to store anger or resistance for what it's experiencing, because that's what illness is. Illness is resistance. We begin to kind of shift away from that into a healthier body and mind. So this is how we can begin to change. It's just a change in perspective, and really it's the compassion of this kind of incredible truth that is available to us that we can see everywhere if we take the moment to observe it.
But do we have time to capture that moment? You know, life's expensive. Life is expensive with time. It's finite. It's everything that we don't want. And here we are fighting it every day for all of us right now. It's a fight, whether it's financially, whether it's against COVID, whether it's against vaccinations, whether it's against politics, whether it's against your friend buying a hybrid vehicle or a an electric vehicle and you're still on diesel power. There's always a fight going on these days. I blame a lot of it on social media, to be blunt. I really do. But how do we express the moment for ourselves when there's always another fight to be had?
Well, and that's exactly in your question is the answer, because uh, why are we fighting? Why are we fighting all the time? It's survival again. So what if you shifted that thought from being in survival into just experiencing, not categorizing things as good and bad? You don't have to categorize something as good and bad all the time. You don't have to judge, what you've seen on social media. If you have social media, are you constantly judging things? How exhausting that is for the body. And we don't even realize that. But we become sick. And this is how this artificial intelligence really embeds into the holographic system of the body, because we begin to completely give away our power into the influence of things that are manipulating us. We give our power away. We say, yes, I'm going to accept this thing that I'm seeing, and I'm going to judge it. And we think that we're imposing something, we think that we're changing something, that we're doing something with that judgment. But all we're doing is in our own little tiny world causing ourselves a lot of conflict. It doesn't change anything outside of us. So we have to be kind of more practical, more realistic with what we do with our thoughts and our emotions. And this is kind of like the maturing that we're doing as a society right now. We're moving away from this. It's that inner child again that is a capricious child that wants to put their words, that wants to say the things, that wants to judge, that wants to react to things. And with this illusion that it's actually doing something, but it's not. It would do more by embodying what it thinks it's right? And how do we know what's right? Is by observing things as they develop, as they manifest, as they unfold. You can begin to see more things. So in that stillness, you have the ability to do that. If you're constant reacting, you're only looking at halfway things. You're only looking at part of things. You're not seeing the whole truth. So this is the thing, that shift of not being in survival mode is actually the healthiest thing that we can do right now. And it's not just a concept. It literally is the foundation for health. If you're in survival mode, your immune system is going to go down. Your constant adrenaline, the constant fear, the anxiety is causing this incredible chemical that is just really inflammating all the parts of the body. It's inflaming the different parts of the body. And so you're afraid of death, but yet you're causing yourself death in your body, So we need to pause and stop that behavior. It's not good for you, and it is life creating to do that rather than to be judging. So this is part of the mastery of the human body. This is what we're here. We're here to understand this exact key process, that things are not just about reacting or the sensation body. We want immediate satisfaction. We want, I told her something, and maybe she took a moment and thought about it, and it made us, our adrenaline rush, it made us feel good about ourselves. But then such an empty illusion of joy, this illusion that we did something good. We're just kidding ourselves, and we lie to ourselves like this a lot. And what ends up happening is that we actually store resentment for ourselves, and we begin to become resentful. We become angry. We're angry at Facebook, but in reality we're angry at ourselves because we took the time to go to Facebook and wasted all our life force there. And with all these things that are happening outside of us, we're angry because we can't use our intuition to decide what's right for us. So we need to train ourselves to be intuitive, to connect with what is good for us. And we're only going to know that by observing and getting to know the body, by being present with the body. You can't create from the past and you can't create from the future, only in the present moment. That's where things happen. So that's essential right now.
We've got about 45 seconds before we have to go to break. At the top of the hour, Geraldine Orozco and the Spiritual You. Continuing on, we will take questions in hour number 2 for our audience, as we always love it when Geraldine comes in and literally tells us how to get healthy. But do we get the message? That is the big one. Do we get the message? We hear it, but are we listening? There's a key component between the two. And you know what? We just got to shut up and listen sometimes. And that's why we bring Geraldine on once a month for the spiritual use, so she can just slap us around and get us to pay attention on what is going to be going on in our lives if we don't become more aware. Spaced Out Radio and Geraldine Orozco continue right after this. So just be prepared in hour 2 because we're in for a great night of radio tonight. GeraldineOrozco.com is her website. She's the owner of Bay Area Meditation in San Francisco, California, and we're very lucky to have her here. Year number 5 of Geraldine and the Spiritual You on Spaced Out Radio. Year 5.
I can't believe that. That's amazing. Wow. I know. Really. Wow. Yeah, we have to celebrate. I guess in April is the day that we're celebrating, huh?
Yes.
Wait, I'm going to grab some water and I'll be right back.
No. You go.
Okay.
Peter O'Hara, welcome. Happy New Year, the lovely and talented Jennifer Lane. I love Geraldine. She is so brilliant. Well, the clam is set the password. Very nice. Boy, do I have a surprise for all of you in hour 3. Hi, lovely Newfie. There you are. Because you're a Newfie, man, what you speak isn't even English. And I mean that with full compliment. Brazelhoff, how you doing, buddy? No, I haven't had the full beard in a while. Oh, you got to wait till hour 3, people. New feature starting tonight. And don't forget that we have our battle plans for Las Vegas, April 22nd through 24th. We are starting the party off on the 22nd for the SOR party in Las Vegas, Nevada at the Stratosphere, where we are going to rock out at their center bar. And then on Saturday, we're going to all have lunch at the Hard Rock. We'll take in a live show because Lynn and I are going to do a live show, probably with the dudes from UFO Garage, little Benny Jenkins, and our good buddy Joe Strelski. And then we're going to finish off the night hanging out at Planet Hollywood, having some fun there. For those who are staying through Sunday, we're going to meet up at Treasure Island's Gilly's Saloon, have a drink there, have a bite to eat, and have some fun. I'm telling you, it is a weekend of awesomeness planned. The SOR first annual Vegas party. We want all of you to be there if you can, right? Cajun Jules, how are you? Welcome back. So we want to make sure that you can all try and make it. If you can't, we do understand. And that's right, Newfie. There's a good line right there. This is how the Newfoundlanders speak. Yes, Bide, that's right. is a da by day or da by dat builds da boat. He like it. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I love it. I love it. That's awesome. So, yes, we want all of you to come and have a good time with us. Spooky Morales is going to be there. Yeah, he's going to be playing his trumpet for us. When we literally call it the night and head back to our hotel rooms, that's when Spooky Morales will get up on the tables and start playing his trumpet. It's true. Fabster, you got to bring that head into Vegas. Mennonite Abe is coming. We know Mennonite Abe is going to be there. We know Amy Vegas O and Candy Romero are going to be there. We know a bunch of people are going to be there. We're gonna convince Thin Lizzie Borden to come on out. She says no, yeah, now, but really she's saying yes. Mama Susan needs to come. We need Obie Flett there. Super Duke from World Bigfoot Radio. He needs to show up. I believe Nate Rudd is coming. Big thank you to Cat Chaser for kicking off the super chat tonight. Really do appreciate that, Cat Chaser. Thank you so much for the love. And the super chat is a good way to support what we do on this show on a nightly basis. So thank you. Geraldine will be with us one more hour here on the show. And here we go.
You're listening to Spaced Out Radio with Dave Scott. Follow Dave on Twitter at Spaced Out Radio and on Facebook, Spaced Out Radio Show.
Here we go with hour number 2 of Spaced Out Radio tonight. My name is Dave Scott. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us. We really do appreciate earning your listening ears wherever you are on this beautiful planet we call Earth. Hello to everyone listening in on our terrestrial affiliates around North America and digitally on TalkStream Live, Revolution Radio, and KPNL. All of our archives are free. Go to youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio. Just do old Davey the favor, hit that subscribe button. The Desert Clam has set the password for tonight in the SOR Space Travelers Club. Palimpsest. Palimpsest is your password. Use it wisely, Space Travelers, as the Clam sets the password each and every night right here on Spaced Out Radio. Our website is spacedoutradio.com. We have a plethora of features for you. Rock out to Bumblefoot, read Shirky Poo's Newswire, check out our swag as well. Follow us on Twitter at Spaced Out Radio, Instagram at Spaced Out Radio Show, and now on TikTok at Spaced Out Radio. We continue on tonight with Geraldine Orozco and the Spiritual You. GeraldineOrozco.com is her website as she joins us near the beginning of each month to kind of set the pace for some Zen and Chi in our lives. And she is also the owner of Bay Area Meditation in San Francisco, California. Geraldine, welcome back.
Hi, I'm so happy to be back.
We're glad you're here too. Glad you're here too. Of course, it wouldn't be a show with you if we didn't get into a little bit of ET research. You know,
Yeah,
because
let's do it.
for a lot of us, we hang out and we hear shows like this. We're like, how come this stuff never happens to me? Why does this not happen? Why can't I see UFOs? Why don't I get taken? Why can't I have this experience? Why? There's a lot of why questions there, Geraldine.
Yeah, and it's very interesting. What is ET contact? I mean, I've been researching this, I guess in a dedicated way, over the past 5 years. And but as you know, I've been a lifelong experiencer. But it's interesting how the concept and the idea about ET contact changes as you learn more, as you bring in more understanding, as you experience more. Even in the communications and contact, things change, in how you're experiencing things. But what I've been realizing more and more is that ET contact really is about your vibrational frequency. And we can initiate this contact. We say initiate, we think it's something that is actually external to us. But again, the concept is that we are one. You and I, all of us here in this show are one. And so it's the same with these beings. They are also a part of us. They're an aspect of ourselves. So we need to raise our vibrational frequency to a certain level in order to be able to consciously remember and interact with these beings. And that's something that a lot of people, they don't realize. Some people don't put those two together until later on. But, in my research and in my support groups, what I discover time and time again is that these contactees are either experiencing meditations or have been doing the work or something like this, where they begin to have these experiences, and sometimes the person standing next to them in a room doesn't have the same experience, and there's many sides of this, but we are the ones that we can initiate and create the contact by raising our frequency. And it's literally coming into a state of neutrality and love, if possible, the highest level possible. This allows the vibrational frequency. You're activating not only dimensional layers of your multidimensional body from the inside out, but even just like in everyday experiences, we're creating based on our vibrational frequency. So if you have subconscious beliefs of fear, your experiences that you have are going to match the fear. So it's the same with ET contact. You have to be aware of that. So what that means is that even in your contact, if you're doubtful or fearful, it will decide and define the kind of beings that you come in contact with. So this is very important. Also, there isn't a case that I haven't heard when a person wants the contact, they do end up having some kind of contact at some point. But the contact has to be wanted in the very deep subconscious level. That means any doubt, any fears, any anxieties about that have to be neutralized and addressed. Therefore, it opens up energetically the body. So you are an organism of 13 dimensional layers. And when you're in a high vibrational state, you are activating the top layers, your solar plexus up to your crown, going up to the 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th. Most contact for most people occurs between the 8th and the 12th dimensional plane. This is where we're coming up to a spectrum, a ranges of vibrational frequencies and entities and beings. So we need to learn how to navigate that just the way we're navigating our everyday life, just the way we come in contact with someone that is maybe angry all the time. We need to know how to interact with them. This is the difference between having traumatic experiences and experiences that are more high vibration. That neutral state is essential to this kind of contact. It'll also avoid traumas, long-standing traumas, because remember that we are translating things that are happening in these dimensional planes in which the laws of physics are different, concepts of reality, concepts of relations are different, values are different, and we're filtering them through our human perception. And so that can cause a lot of conflict. When we wake up or we become conscious in an experience, we're wondering what's happening to us, what are they doing, I'm being abused or affected, or something is happening to me, and we can create a lot of trauma for ourselves. But in order to heal that, we have to understand what it means to navigate higher dimensional planes we're dealing with things beyond the body, beyond the limitations of this human perception. And that's where things begin to kind of broaden. So we have to be prepared for that when we are asking or desiring contact, because again, this neutral point, this flow state of acceptance is good in your everyday life as it is in these higher dimensional planes when we're navigating and exploring. So it would be very beneficial to do that. So in meditation, what I teach is to close your first 3 chakras, and what you're doing is you're controlling all of the baggage that you have not resolved, all of the fear emotions that are here in the first 3 chakras. You're closing them, and you begin to open your heart, your throat, and your third eye. And this is how you train. This is the body as a psychic. A psychic is naturally born with her first 3 chakras mostly controlled, and the top 3, especially the third eye, wide open. So you can bring yourself into that state. You need to be in that state, because that's how you're going to be able to navigate and see and interact with other dimensional beings, okay? However they might present themselves to you. So now that you are open, bring yourself into authentic joy, into surrender, into love. And you can start doing a kind of, going outside and looking to see if you see UFOs. You can start by practicing this way, and be conscious that when you go back to sleep, you're going to maintain that high vibration. For when you doze off into sleep, you're going to practice being aware. You're going to practice lucid dreaming, and you're going to practice astral projection. All of these are tools that you can utilize to master your navigation and your interaction with these beings. So these are some things that you can start to do that require mindfulness and meditation in your everyday life and presence. All of these tools, the same that we use to have successful life, we're using them for successful contact, if that's what you wish to have.
Do you recommend it?
I think that we, as a collective organism, have incarnated in the physical body at this specific time in the evolutionary point to expand beyond dimensions. And it generationally, again, remember, time is not linear. I'm talking about a sphere of time, okay? All of these points of experience that we've had on this earth, on this cell of an earth, this organism of an earth, allowed us to experience many ranges of life forms, from earth beings to interstellar beings. And we have that in historical record. That has been a part of our history. It's a part of our creation, and it's a part of our future. So ET contact is the exploration of yourself. It's the exploration of your abilities at the highest point of your expression. It's a must, because as we are moving with technology, which is also turning into more organic, we need to choose whether we are moving towards organic or artificial intelligence. And the only way to do that is to learn quickly how to navigate these dimensional planes, because quantum computers, quantum technology is operating on those dimensional planes in which we can experience non-physical entities and beings. So this is the next step in our evolution. It is the future. It is what we're headed for. And it's required for the health and the evolution of this body right now. So yes, you need to explore. But don't just get fascinated and distracted by that, because that's a mistake that a lot of us do. It's the spiritual and the soul and the presence in the creation body that is essential to those experiences. Because if you do it the other way, you're going to experience all kinds of things that you're not going to be happy to see, because you're filtering from a different place. So that's really important.
Chris Mo in Austria wants to know, what are the common reasons people would want to have contact?
That's a good question. And I can't speak for other people necessarily, but my experience working with hundreds of people that come to my support groups, is people that already have had contact, people that are already aware of the non-physical. They usually begin with paranormal experiences, whether it's ghosts or ETs or things that are moving or orbs, everything to Bigfoot to seeing, UFOs. And from there, I guess the next maturity point from those experiences and the awe of those experiences is to begin to question the mechanics of those experiences. And that's where you start going into consciousness. So I think that it's a wonderful, those that are having those questions are truly evolving as an organism. I think they not only are they born with a specific vibrational frequency, they're usually what we call star children, but they're usually people that have come into the earth with some kind of memory and awareness already of the non-physical. And they are usually already quite, comfortable in those spaces. And I think that's a certain design of certain organisms on Earth that have chosen to experience that. And they participate in the whole evolution of the whole, because there's some people that don't touch that topic at all. And they're here to experience different spectrums of the human condition. Okay. But those that are interested in that, they have gifts. They already have a lot of their energy centers opened up. They've been working many lifetimes, many timelines, and they have somehow agreements to remember conscious experiences or to question and dive into those areas. So I think that it's just part of the design of this human expression, what we're here to do. And it's inherent. It's a part of them already. It's already a part. That means they've already experienced, they already know. So, yeah, I think that's how I would want to answer that. I mean, yeah, I hope that answers the question, Chris.
All right, let's get to another question here. This one from Black Dragon. Geraldine, do you believe in ancient energies?
Well, that's an interesting question, but in order to believe in ancient energies, I think we would have to believe in time as being at least somewhat linear, because ancient would mean that there's something in the past. And I don't think of time at all like that. I think that we are existing simultaneously with other timelines, whether it's ancient Egypt, whether it's Lemuria, whether it's all of these ancient cultures and civilizations that were existing on our Earth. They're not existing in our current timeline, but they are existing simultaneously in other timelines. And we are experiencing the residue of that existence. It's like the merging of those two worlds. So I'm not sure exactly what that means. Maybe you have another definition for what ancient energies are. I think that we are constantly regenerating life force. We are life force. And once we learn how to master and work with life force, we can really kind of move time and space per se. By cultivating the ability to move that. And it's essential for us to learn how to do that, actually.
All right. Do you think, though, that our soul, if reincarnation is real, okay, and it is happening, do you think our soul would continue to have kinetic energy that followed along with it, lifetime through lifetime? I mean, we hear of these experiences where children will wake up or have a birthmark where their previous life, maybe they were hit with an arrow or shot with a gun or injured someplace, and they have a beauty mark or a birthmark in that exact location. I mean, we hear a lot of stories like that.
Absolutely. And this is actually what I research and I'm writing about now, is about our holographic DNA. That's exactly what it is, because our organisms are storing information and they're also pulling from a database of information, which is holographic. And it's in our DNA. Our genetic code is embodied, the physical written code of everything that is occurring in all dimensional aspects of ourselves. So we become fragmented. We are fragmented in our ET aspects. We can be Queen Elizabeth can be one of our fragments, or our past life. It's a simultaneous fragment of ourselves. And these are archetypes, ranges of aspects of ourselves that we have experienced, we have lived, we are living currently. I keep saying we have lived as a reference for common, the common reference that people make, but in reality, it's simultaneous. We are simultaneously living all of those fragments of ourselves, and those fragments are encoded in our holographic DNA. So this is the junk DNA of the DNA that we don't understand, and the part that doesn't write the protein that makes up this physical organism. So this is where we begin to kind of go into the depths. And when we go into meditation or past life regression and we're doing deep healing work, we are unlocking and accessing that information, that data. And it can be very beneficial because we are expressing through traumatic experiences repetitive programs that are carried down through our ancestral lineage. We come into families specifically to experience something, and all of the members of that family, even the members of friends in that family, are groups of vibrational frequency. So when we're gathering together, when we experience a trauma, you're one part of a greater organism of trauma, and all of the participants of that trauma are playing a certain role. So it's really important to understand that. So and so that this is how we can begin to embody fragments of ourselves, and this is also how ET contact becomes present. Like, for example, in my life, as a result of deprogramming, I completely had conscious experience, something that I was experiencing my entire life. And I hear this all the time. People have experiences, but they don't know what it is. And then one of those experiences, it's super conscious, and then they begin to recall all the other ones. See, you've been experiencing so much in these other dimensional planes that you're not aware of. All of that is encoded in your DNA. So this is what healing work is about, integration is about as well.
We got time for one more question before we got to go to break at the bottom of the hour. This one comes from Xochitl Paez. Hi, Geraldine. Is it possible to not know you've had contact due to low vibration in this dimension, but higher in others? We got about 3 minutes.
So Chill, so good to see you. Love you. Is it possible to not know you've had contact due to low vibration? Yes. So this is essentially how it works. If we maintain in a low vibration, like survival mode, for example, the kind of non-physical experiences that we're having are usually going to be people that have deceased and are in between. See, you're only, if at all, because you're already quite psychic, experiencing things in the 8th up to the 10th dimension. And usually those things are terrestrial, paranormal things, and then when you start going up to the higher dimension, that's when you start getting more conscious ET contact. But it means that you've had all of those things. So it's just a matter of meditating and then, revisiting some of these experiences to understand what you experienced unconsciously.
All right, one more. Newfie here. Surprised as being able to write in English, considering it's a whole different language on the East Coast of Canada. But he's in BC now. In our spiritual form, we have no wants or needs, no disease. What could we possibly take away from our time on Earth and bring to the eternal realm?
Fantastic question. This is one that I spend a lot of time exploring myself, because the question is, if we are a fractal of source, what is the purpose of that? And the correct answer to that is I don't know. And I tried to know. I tried to explore and experience that, but anytime that I came close to understanding this and observing what the organism looks like beyond this multiverse, the concepts are so expansive that it's so hard for us in the human form to conceptualize this existence. And so what I notice is that, this might be a little bit longer answer, so maybe I'll continue when we get back from break if I can't make it. But when you understand that you are an organism, your human body, your family is an organism, the Earth is an organism, the galaxy, and then infinitely organism within organism. essentially, it's about exploration and experience, and it's also about creation. And there are many building blocks to creating those things and to experiencing those things, but it's evolution. It's a natural expression of evolution. All these things are evolving, at the same time, simultaneously. So part of evolution is growth, understanding, and moving from low vibration into a high vibration. And I would love to go deeper, but we have to.
We will go deeper when we get back from the break here.
Okay.
Thank you, Geraldine. And of course, Geraldine Orozco's The Spiritual You happens near the beginning of each month here on Spaced Out Radio. Her website, GeraldineOrozco.com. I highly suggest you check it out. Now we'll continue with Geraldine, finish off hour 2 right after this. All right, we're clear.
Great.
Yay.
Yay. That was a great question, Newfie.
Yes.
That's actually such a great question.
A Newfie is a Newfoundlander.
Oh, very nice. Love that. Never been there.
Neither. Apparently, it is very beautiful.
Must be.
Very scenic. Gorgeous ocean views where you can literally sit on the ocean and watch the icebergs or the whales jumping.
Wow.
And there's a lot of wind there, lots of big moose, and the beer is fantastic there. The people are probably the nicest in Canada, most of them, and it is extremely haunted.
Wow, really? That's interesting.
Extremely haunted.
Wow. Have you looked at why that is in reference to grid lines? The energy in that space.
Well, much like Massachusetts is for you guys. It's Newfoundland for us, right?
Interesting. Yeah. Okay. Yeah,
eventually
it's
rock. Now, most people don't know that the Titanic sunk off of the coast of Newfoundland.
Wow, very cool. I'd love to go visit that.
Yes.
Especially for those beaches.
It's a lot of rock. I don't think
must be like Scotland or like
Scotland. It would be probably equivalent of.
Okay. Yeah.
I'll show you here.
I love that. I love that kind of. I would live in the UK. It's so beautiful.
Yeah. Here's pictures of Newfoundland. Like all the buildings are like different colors. And that's some of the icebergs they get there floating on by. Oh, you can't see.
Wait, are you showing me? Yeah, I'm not seeing it. Oh
there
my gosh. Oh, wow.
There you go.
That's gorgeous.
Yeah. Like, look at this.
Wow.
Yeah.
It must be cold, but I wonder how it is in the summer.
Like, would you not like to live there?
I would love to live there. Love it.
That'd be amazing to live there.
Beautiful. Yep.
Yeah. And this is, I believe this is on the mainland.
Oh my gosh, look at that valley.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Yeah. And there's a Newfoundland dog.
Oh yeah. So cute.
Like, look at the town there.
Oh, I love how
very
colorful
European.
it is. It does, yes.
Yeah.
Mediterranean. It looks kind of Mediterranean.
Here you go.
Oh, what is that?
That's a human in a parka.
Oh my goodness, look at that snow.
Yeah, it happens there. They get snow every now and again. And, yeah, the icebergs are incredible there. There's another one. Then you got the humpback whales.
Wow, beautiful.
Yeah. That's one place in Canada that I would love to visit.
Wow, yeah, you should make it out there. Maybe this year. Hopefully It's easier to travel.
And they got puffins.
Oh my gosh,
Look
so
how
beautiful.
cute those birds are.
Yeah, yeah.
Puffins. Just the way it is. This is what your average Newfoundlander looks like right there.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, gorgeous hair.
Yeah,
Either way.
very nice.
We've got one just over a minute.
Okay. I'm gonna drink some water. I'll be right back.
Now I got to find Newfie's question again. There it is. That was fun. Don't forget this weekend, Lynn Wallington, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. She's going to have a couple of great guests this weekend, followed up by the after hours to take you into late into the night. We would appreciate that. You tuning us in, especially for Lynn and especially for the afternoon or the after hours show. We're going to continue here right now. We pass the halfway point of Spaced Out Radio tonight. My name is Dave Scott. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us. We really do appreciate it. I want to remind you that if you missed portions of this show or others, check out our free archives. Go to youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio. Just do us a favor. Hit that subscribe button. Our website is spacedoutradio.com. We have a plethora of features for you. Rock out to Bumblefoot. Read Shirky Poo's Newswire. Check out our swag as well. Follow us on Twitter at Spaced Out Radio, Instagram at Spaced Out Radio Show, and on TikTok at Spaced Out Radio. Here's Geraldine Orozco for the final time tonight. The Spiritual You continues on the mighty SOR, Geraldine's website, GeraldineOrozco.com. And right before the break, Newfie asked a question about, what can we take away from our time on Earth to bring to the eternal realm? And you wanted to continue with that.
Yeah, so just to answer it simply, it's experience, it's creation, it's exploration of creation, and through the exploration of creation is how we move. It's a movement of the whole. The entire multiverse, the universe is moving, and that movement is creation, it's experience, and we're existing in that. And so if you look at how that function manifests itself on all the different dimensional planes, this is how we're defining it from our perspective, because, we're human, we try to fit it into our human brains, but in the higher dimensional realms, it's translated as something different, something way more expansive. But in our mind, it's to experience and to evolve.
All right, let's move on to another one. John Music says, "Wonderful to meet you, Geraldine. What can be done to make the powerful tech companies to fully support and believe in this global non-human reality disclosure movement? Do they believe? Can't they help us?"
That is a very interesting question. So nice to meet you, John. Well, I guess there's so many parts to this question that I guess what the first takeaway is, can they help us? And that's the thing where I want to start first, the idea that we need help. The thing is essentially that we don't need help from anyone, from anything outside. First of all, because again, to affect change in this world, it begins with us, with what we're doing. How we're contributing to this system, Once we have gone down the rabbit hole and we understand what these corporations are doing, how we are participating with these corporations, everything from social media to what we're buying in our grocery to the things that we're watching on TV, you are choosing every single moment what you're contributing to. So first of all, once you have that down, then you understand that the change begins with you. So once you choose to no longer participate in this kind of parasitic, systems that are in place right now, things can begin to turn in the world. Now, we're talking about disclosure of the non-human reality. Now, not the non-human, non-physical, really, existence is within us. It is us. We are that non-physical existence. Our entire multidimensional body is our experience, and it's very much individual first. So what are you experiencing in your life? Are you already experiencing contact? If so, how is that? Have you understood? Have you understood what you're experiencing, why you're experiencing it? Have you made peace with it? Are you able to be peaceful within understanding that there is a non-physical existence and that you can interact with that and that it's a part of you? All of these things are incredibly important for every human to, at some point in their evolution, whether it's in this lifetime or another one, to experience, because as we were asking from Newfie's question, this is part of that evolutionary process that we're all experiencing on infinite dimensional planes. So what's important is to understand that. And it isn't important and it isn't necessary for us to wait for any system, any government, any group of people to confirm the fact that there's non-human presences or interdimensional beings, because first of all, it would destruct the systems, parasitic systems that have been in place for a long time for self-serving reasons. And on the other side of that, we as humans have to also, in this time, experience what it means to become empowered and to not be codependent on these parasitic systems, to understand what it means. It's kind of like having a partner that is codependent. Do you stay? How do you fix that? You have to first fix yourself, and then from there, begin to change how you're interacting with that person, right? So it's the same with ourselves and our society and this world. The change begins with us, and we have to begin by little baby steps, choosing every step of the way. And if we feel that we need to talk about this ET contact or multidimensional presence, make it known, we need to first know what we're talking about and make peace with it in ourselves, become comfortable with that topic in ourselves and understand it. It's an incredibly complex, never-ending journey of exploration. So I'll leave it there.
Jenny wants to know, how does a past life regression work? Specifically, the process, relaxation to hypnosis to regression through the ending. What happens afterwards, the results?
Yeah, awesome question. Thank you for that question, Angels. How do you, real
Angels
life?
are Jenny Lane.
Oh, Angels Are Life. So nice to see you, Jenny. So I am a clinical hypnotherapist, and so my job is to work with people that want to do past life regression in order to explore what is happening. So I'm going to explain it from my perspective as an intuitive and as a person that can see the multidimensional body, what's happening. You are reading your holographic DNA. When you go into hypnosis, you're accessing the subconscious mind, all of the programs that you've taken on throughout your entire life, and programs that are also in the deeper unconscious mind that you're holding on to from simultaneous lifetimes and other timelines that are available to you. Those timelines are available to you at any time that you enter into the subconscious mind and begin to follow patterns of behavior. What past lives are patterns of behavior in other scenarios in which you have embodied archetypes of these behaviors. We are experiencing as humans 13 main archetypes that we are exploring through this evolutionary process. And we all experience all of them as part of evolution. So what past lives are different instances simultaneously that you're experiencing these different archetypes. Waking up means that you're aware of all of these different parts of you and that you integrate them as one in the physical body. So in past life, when you are going into the hypnosis, you go into a deep relaxation, and I take you into the hypnosis depending on, I qualify the kind of hypnosis that you require, because it depends. People are different and they need different things, and you will go deep into the subconscious mind. It's not gonna feel like complete unconscious sleep. It's going to feel like an incredibly deep meditation, and from there you're going to start allowing your mind to travel. The mind traveling is reading your subconscious mind. Okay, so if you're a person that watches a lot of TV and that is constantly distracted, oftentimes when you're in hypnosis, you're going to pick up on some of these streams of thoughts at first, and then you're going to go deeper into your subconscious, your true thoughts. If you're a person that meditates and clears their mind, it's going to be easier for you to immediately access your subconscious memory. So the difference between those two is that the first one will start to have some kind of imaginary experiences coming up, and then they're going to go deeper into the higher self or these memories, the true memories. The other person goes deep into them and sometimes enters into a state of channeling. Okay, so after we explore the experience, if there is healing and integration that's necessary, we reintegrate and heal fragments from those past lives. Let's say your head was cut off by a guillotine. How do you recover for that? Do you understand what the life lesson was? What was the story? Chances are you're living a similar fear in this lifetime, and it's a trigger point for a blockage that you're experiencing now. So when we heal that, we're reprogramming the brain from the fear that caused that experience in your life into something better, more healing. Okay, so we do a process of reprogramming. And at the end of that, usually I connect you with your higher self so that you can begin to channel information that only you need and that you would know. And that helps you kind of create a very solid understanding of yourself and what you need in this moment and moving forward. And then after that, I take you out of the hypnosis. You're awake, you're back conscious. You have a recording of the hypnosis, because sometimes people that are less aware of themselves, they won't remember anything. They go into a somnambulous state and they won't be able to, remember. So we record it for you to replay. And it's good to replay it because anytime that you start having that trigger, because we're gonna outline all those triggers. You come in with questions, then you can re-listen to that to understand how to heal from that. And this is really something that's productive for your life. So it's a really incredibly powerful tool. And people have healed themselves. People have changed their lives. People have, it's very productive. So yeah, that's what it is.
All right, let's get to Obi here. Geraldine, I've had a meditation breakthrough where I felt people and beings around me. It felt positive. Now when I feel them, I have fear, and it makes my skin crawl. How do I get rid of this fear?
Interesting. So take a look at the fear. What is it that actually makes you afraid? So at first, when you felt the people around you, what were you picking up? And I want you to notice if what you were picking up is something that you were feeling, or is it something that you picked up from the entity and being. Remember that you might be picking something up from the environment, but also that subconsciously it's a match to something that you feel deep within you. So you need to first differentiate what was the entry point of that emotion, and then go deeper underneath. Okay, so underneath that fear, sit with that fear, locate it on the body. Where are you holding on to the fear? Some of you might be in the chest, some might be in the solar plexus. Wherever it is, check it out in your body. There's no wrong place. Focus on that part of the body and be present with that fear. And have a pen and paper next to you, and I want you to jot down what when you sit with that fear, what are the emotions and thoughts that come up? Whatever it is, don't judge what it is. And from those emotions, begin to notice, you will be able to understand the fear better, okay? And it'll help you understand why it was triggered. What are some past life triggers or memories or experience in this lifetime that have triggered that fear? And you will also, a lot of times, begin to have a clearer image of what it is you actually experienced in that moment, because you will remember more. The fear usually blocks you from seeing what's really being experienced in that moment. And oftentimes, just that alone can help dispel any kind of perceptions of fear around that experience, okay? So that's something that you can do to get rid of that fear. And remember, again, that nothing is separate. Fear can only occur when we think that we're separate. But this experience, this being, is as much as a part of us, okay, as we are of it. It's a mirror. It's an aspect of ourselves. So see it as yourself, and then you'll be able to kind of understand it better, okay?
All right, perfect. Larry is asking, I have asked for contact and have felt a presence, and then I get terrified and the presence leave. How can I get over my fear?
Excellent question. And this is something that I've experienced myself. How did I overcome this experience? Number one, what is it that you're afraid of? Okay, I want you to ask yourself, what is it that you're afraid of when this contact comes? Is it that we feel that we don't have control? Is it that we're afraid that something is more powerful than us? Take a look at what that is and work with those thoughts. Just acknowledge them, and work with being okay with not being in control. This is the key to this kind of a fear, and you can do so every day. So as soon as you wake up, ask yourself intuitively, what should you eat? Do you need to grab a banana, or do you need to go make some, eggs or some whatever it is you need to do? So intuitively. And I want you to just completely surrender. Whatever the first thing comes to your mind, do it. And, I want you to practice that a couple days. That practice alone will help you trust yourself. Because ultimately, when we're afraid of something outside that we can't control, it's because we're afraid we can't trust ourselves. We feel that we're not able to protect ourselves, we're not good enough, we're unworthy, or we're going to be disempowered in those situations. And whatever it is that you're encountering, that's a lie. Because again, everything begins and ends with us. It's based on our vibrational frequency, even our contact. So if you're fearful in contact, your experience will be perceived as fearful. If you're empowered and joy and love and happiness, and you have this experience, this perception of that experience will be a lighter, will be more pleasant experience. So you need to understand that really, really deep in you and begin to help yourself. Train yourself daily to surrender. And that will help create trust. Next time you sit down to have this contact experience, it will be just another experience that you're observing. Your core is strong, you're aware of yourself, and you're not feeling disempowered or helpless. That's very important. Thank you for that question.
The topic of fear keeps coming up with a lot of people because we hear a lot about the negative experiences that have happened to many of us out there. People are bad. Not everybody on this planet is an exemplary byproduct of quality humanity. You know what I'm saying? So how can we expect everybody from the stars or wherever they're coming from to be just as high quality as us, correct? So my question to you, and please note the sarcasm in what I was saying there. My question to you is this: how do we break that overall stigma that anything extraterrestrial has?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and again, and I think we need to kind of look at it because we are not that exemplary and high vibration. We're not. We're simply not. We can imagine or hope that we are, and we can even have a fantasy that we are completely high vibrational beings, but we literally are all the ranges. And the more integrated you are, the more you are accepting that as a fact of yourself. So it's the same with this ET contact. We are experiencing all kinds of things in our dream state. When you're unconscious, you have no idea what's happening to you. You can be on a draconian ship having some incredible thing happening, all the way to some etheric realm with angelic beings. Okay, you're experiencing all of that. Your perception of how you see yourself, whether as helpless, disempowered, or empowered, makes the difference of how you translate what you're bringing in and what you're recalling. So everything, it's up to you. It's up to you. This is the thing that's not talked about as much in when we talk about ET contact, but it's essential to contact. The problem is people don't realize their intention for wanting contact. Sometimes they're scared to death, but they love the thrill of just having that experience, and that's a mistake, because if you're scared to death, you're gonna translate what you're experiencing in something very disempowering. Yeah, you created that. So and there's nothing wrong. It's not just that you created, but you're experiencing one spectrum of many experiences that you're going to have. You have to accept the fact that you're going to have all of them. And that's a part of this ET contact that all humans have to learn to deal with when we're dealing with the non-physical, whether it's angels, ghosts, or ETs. We need to learn how to be in that unknown.
How do we decipher what is happening to us if we don't understand the phenomena?
So what's happening to us, the phenomena is a product of what's happening to us, right? So, for example, the phenomena itself is basically the non-physical. You're interacting with something that's non-physical. It's going to feel very physical. We're going to have physical side effects as a result of this experience. For some of us, everything from scars on the body, we are going to have that because we need to redefine what non-physical means. Non-physical doesn't mean it doesn't exist and you're imagining it. Non-physical means that it's happening on another dimension and it's affecting all dimensions, from the physical to the highest level. So, how do we decipher that? Is that we need to first understand that this kind of contact experience, we're going to feel it in the physical, and it's important to reintegrate from that. So first, accepting the contact, understanding your intention, accepting what you're experiencing without judging what you're experiencing, and then having a willingness to explore beyond what you're experiencing, even if you judge it as something negative at the beginning. We need to move beyond that. It's just an experience. This is part of learning and growing. When you're a child, and you're raising your child, you can't protect them from everything. Eventually, they're going to experience things that are negative. So we're like that too, as these adults or whatever age we are, when dealing with the unknown. We're like children. So we have to experience all the ranges of it. That's what this phenomena is about. And there is no victimization in this. Okay, there's many levels of understanding, but I'm here to say that we are not victims of anything. We create everything. And even these aspects that are darker, that's us. We have that darkness within that. It is our most primal and our shadow self that we ourselves have a hard time dealing with. We're experiencing. So it's just a part of experience.
We have 90 seconds left with you tonight on the show, and I want to say thank you so much for returning to us for another year of the Spiritual You, and my fondest thank yous to you. Tell everybody what you're going to be up to the next few months, if you don't mind, like going to Vegas for a certain Spaced Out Radio party in April.
Yes, my deepest gratitude for inviting me to be back on this show again. Dave, it's an honor to be here. And may this year be completely successful for you and for Spaced Out Radio. I hope to participate in that success, for your success. Yeah, so what am I up to this year? Well, April for sure. We're going to be in Vegas, so definitely check us out. I'm going to be speaking at a couple conferences, so please do check that out. I have all the dates on my website. We're getting really, really deep into some interesting workshops on Hybrid Mother. Hybridmother.com is my support group. Every month we have one support group at the beginning of the month, and at the end of the month we have a workshop. And these workshops go deep into exploring the non-physical, whether it's integrating from trauma, speaking light language, learning how to draw your ET contact, or whatever it is. This is therapy to help you understand and integrate what you're experiencing. And we go very deep into that. It's so much fun. So definitely sign up for those classes. And if you'd like to get a hypnotherapy session with me, or work in DNA reprogramming, you can check out GeraldineOrozco.com, and it would be my pleasure to assist you. So I'm just honored to be here and happy to be of service. Thank you.
Awesome. Geraldine Orozco. We'll be back next month to bring us our Zen and our Chi, making sure our chakras align. Coming up next, we head into the swamp. Swamp Dweller brings us another spooky story and more. And we're clear.
Oh, David, thank you so much for an amazing, amazing show as always. I love you too. I will see you soon. Have an amazing month. And bye to everybody. Much love to you guys in the chat.
I am a big fan of the new hairdo. Very big fan.
Well, thank you. I'm so happy to hear that.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm a little jealous. It looks better than mine.
Oh my gosh. Well, maybe you need to flat iron yours for just experimenting.
I will in Vegas.
Okay, I'll bring my flat iron then.
Please do, because remember in San Francisco, I had to run out to get my hair flat ironed before the conference started.
Yes. Now I'll do it for you. See?
All right.
All right. Much love. Bye.
Take care. Bye-bye. Love me some Geraldine Orozco. Love her. Hi, gorgeous Melissa Nicole. How are you? We're heading to the swamp next, people. I think I got all the tech issues out of the way. And then we get to our big surprise of the night. Theme song and everything. I'm telling you, it's a good run. Let me tell you about something about Geraldine. The way she is on this show is the way she is in person. There's no trickery. There's no looking at anything different. Okay, what you see is what you get, and and literally, there's no bullshit there whatsoever. All right. Yeah, remember, if you're new, Geraldine is here the first Tuesday of every month. First Tuesday every month. Je suis un Canadien aussi. Acadian. Oh, yes, there we go. Damn Acadians. Horrible car. Geraldine is one of my favorites. Yeah. Do I want a crimper wagon breath November 3rd? No. I mean, if it was the 80s, yes. Maybe even the early 2000s where it started to make a slim comeback. Maybe. Not now, though. Just a nice flat ironing. All right, Wagon Breath, you come to Vegas for the party, and I will let you crimp my hair. I will let you crimp my hair. November 3rd. All right. Let's see here. Lovely Lynn LeBlanc is Acadian too. Well, isn't that nice? Vive l'Acadie. Michael Gutierrez, what's happening, man? Gonna have twins in May. Oh my goodness. You must be huge. How's your wife doing? Is she doing okay? With you carrying the twins? Don't forget at the bottom of the hour, we have the Magic 8 Ball. It's going to be a gooder. Gonna be a gooder. Let's see here. We got about 90 seconds. Big thank you to Cat Chaser times 2, Flat Earther, Obi, and John for the awesome super chats tonight. Thank you so much. Really do appreciate that. We got time to grab one more here. All right, there we go. Thank you, Wagon, to adding to the super chat. I appreciate that, my beautiful friend.
Would you like to connect with us? Head to spacedoutradio.com for all your latest show info. Now, back to Dave Scott and SOR.
Here we go with the third and final hour of Spaced Out Radio tonight. My name is Dave Scott. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us. We really do appreciate earning your listening ears wherever you are on this beautiful planet we call Earth. Hello to everyone listening in on our terrestrial affiliates around North America and digitally on TalkStream Live, Revolution Radio, and KDNL. All of our archives are free. Go to youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio. Do old Davey the favor. Hit that subscribe button. The Desert Clam has set the password for tonight in the SOR Space Travelers Club. Palimpsest. Palimpsest is your password. Use it wisely, Space Travelers, as the Clam sets the password each and every night right here on Spaced Out Radio. Our website, spacedoutradio.com. We have a plethora of features for you. Rock out to Bumblefoot, read Shirky Poo's Newswire. Check out our swag as well. Follow us on Twitter at Spaced Out Radio, Instagram at Spaced Out Radio Show, and now on TikTok at Spaced Out Radio. Here comes the Swamp Dweller as we prepare to enter the swamp nightly on Spaced Out Radio in this dark, dirty road in a segment we call The Swamp.
Hi, Spaced Out Radio listeners. This is Swamp Dweller. It's time for your nightly dose of spookiness on the show. If you have an interesting encounter or a spooky...
And why did that die again? Well, let's get right to the show. Here, let's get right to it.
This happened when I was a lot younger. I think I was about 20, and back then, I would often go into the mountains to hunt. By the time night fell, I would set up in a small clearing. I was adding more wood to the fire, and resting at the entrance of my tent was my hunting rifle. I had just reloaded it and cleaned it. I got up to gather some more wood when I heard a noise behind me. I turned around to face the sound, and I saw that my rifle was now missing. A shadowy figure was running towards the trees with something long in its hands. I knew that it must be my rifle. I gave chase, but there was too much distance between us. The shadowy figure slipped into the darkness of the forest. I have no idea why I chased him, since he did have a gun, and I did not. The guy was dressed entirely in black, and whatever he was wearing looked like fur. For a moment, I thought that it might even be a human. The way it was running was kind of odd, though. It kind of leaned forward, with its arms seeming to be a little long. Whatever it was, it looked like it had lived out here in the mountains. It looked feral and far too big. I had no choice but to run back to my campsite. I felt incredibly uneasy. There were lots of my possessions lying around. He could have taken anything of value, but he didn't. He just took the gun. While I thought about that fact, a chill raced up my spine. I didn't know how much danger I was in at the time, and I was alone in the woods at night. There was a pitch black darkness all around me. Clouds had covered up the moon. There was no way that I was going to be able to sleep that night. I decided to extinguish the campfire. I didn't want to remind this guy of my location. I planned on getting out of the woods as soon as the sun began to rise. I didn't want to be out there walking around in the dark. I grabbed my hatchet, kept it in my hand, and waited for the morning to arrive. Thankfully, the night was uneventful and I was safe. At the first sight of morning, I quickly packed up all of my things and started back down the mountain. While I was heading down through the woods, I heard the explosive sound of splintering wood nearby. I saw a bullet hole in a dry tree trunk just a few inches away from me. I immediately thought about my missing gun and the events of last night. I got my head down low and just ran as fast as I could in a zigzagging motion. Like most people do, I had never had any experience running from a shooter like this, so I just hoped that this would slow them down or make me slightly harder to hit. I guess I was doing my best to imitate the prey I hunt when they run. I could hear the popping sound of my rifle echoing from behind me and the whizzing sounds of bullets flying through the trees. Honestly, I have never been so terrified in my life. Fortunately for me, the shooter wasn't very good at aiming. While running as fast as I could, I counted the number of shots which were coming my way. When it reached the number of bullets that I had loaded into the magazine, I basically collapsed on the forest ground. He should be out of bullets. The tension was unbearable. All I could hear was my own labored breaths. Then I silenced myself as an alarming thought crept into my mind. What if he was reloading? What if he had another weapon? I was exhausted, but I knew I couldn't take any risk. I needed to run again. Just as I was getting to my feet, I heard something heavy land next to me. It was my rifle. I looked at the barrel and it was bent. I just ran and hoped for the best. I managed to make it down the mountain and back to civilization. I haven't been hunting since. I totally fell out of love with it.
Man, gotta love the Swamp Dweller. Gotta love them. That's what we do here on each and every night here on Spaced Out Radio. Bring in our good friend Swamp Dweller. So make sure you head on over to his YouTube channel and hit that subscribe if you do not mind. We would greatly appreciate it. All right. We have a brand new feature for you here tonight on Spaced Out Radio, and we think you're going to enjoy it, both on the YouTube side and on the radio side. It's called Dave versus Dave. All right, let's bring in Dave versus Dave, episode 1 here on Spaced Out Radio, as we get to 3 burning questions to take us through to the bottom of the hour. And here we go. Dave versus Dave. What is happening, Dave?
What's going on, Dave?
I am doing good. I am doing good. It's good to see you, Dave. Thank you for joining us on Spaced Out Radio, my illegitimate twin.
It's good to see you too again, buddy. It's been a while, huh?
It has been a while. So for our radio audience who cannot see, my twin Dave is on the other side chatting with us about 3 burning questions that we need to comply with here on the mighty SOR. Fire away, Dave.
Well, Dave, my first question, I guess for us, Dave, is well, what happens to Lou Elizondo in 2022? You think he's gonna stick with UFOs?
Oh, that's a good question, Dave. I like how we think alike. I really do like how we think alike. Well, let me tell you this. This is what I see happening. We have Lou Elizondo is going to be coming out with a book here very soon. He knows he's the face of the UFO franchise. He knows that he has been somebody who has been playing very hard throughout his time in order to make this as comfortable as possible. Not only being the face of the franchise within the media, but also with a bunch of politicians as he tries to make sure that he has the ability to have that pull that he needs in order to get the UFO message out to people in Congress and the Senate. I do know he has also lectured to certain governments around the world regarding UFOs. Now, heading into 2022, this is what I think is going to happen, Dave, and I'll get your opinion on this right afterwards. I think once his book comes out, he's going to do the book tour. But I think by July, we start to see Lou Elizondo fade away a little bit. I don't think he's comfortable in his position. I don't think that he wants to be here in his position. And I don't think he relatively likes his position. He knows what his role is. I think he's a patriot. But in the end, I really do believe, Dave, that Lou Elizondo starts to pull away from the UFO field and go more into the private life. Maybe still working behind the scenes, but not as much in front of the camera and in front of the microphone. What is your thoughts, Dave?
Well, I'll give you maybe behind the scenes because he's in too far to stop now. He's in too deep to quit. He can't stop now. If he stops now, we might lose some information.
Your signal is cracking up a little bit there.
Oh, no.
Is your cabin okay, Dave? Is your cabin okay?
I'm not sure. Carl might be out the window.
How's the snowfall?
It's getting thick. It's getting thick if I'm losing my signal.
All right. You have another burning question here.
Yeah. Well, what's your biggest concern about ufology coming this year? What do you think is going to be coming for that this year?
Well, this is what I think is going to happen in 2022. I think we're going to see this subject become very political. And where it's really going to take off is we are going to see it become very political around when that first NDAA report is supposed to come out. This is where the Pentagon and all the alphabet agencies in June are supposed to report every 6 months what they have found regarding UFOs and UAP. And I believe that first report is going to be so bland, blander than hospital food, that we are going to be disappointed, and the government officials are going to be like, that's it? And the UFO crowd, especially on UFO Twitter, Dave, is going to be like, really? That's it? And I think we're going to see this become highly politicized. Online, the mainstream media is not going to care about this. Even after all the big news that they have seen, Dave, and I mean, you were a journalist for 10 years. Literally, they haven't picked up this subject. Sure, a few outlets have. We've seen the reports in the New York Times, Tucker Carlson on Fox. We've seen Politico and The Hill write articles about it and continue the pressure on there. Heck, even TMZ But TMZ is not going to get the job done as much as a CNN, a Fox, a New York Times, an LA Times. And remember, it's really only been the New York Times that has been breaking these UFO stories. It hasn't been the Chicago Tribune. It hasn't been the Washington Herald. It hasn't been the LA Times. None of the other major newspapers haven't done it. They haven't dug in deep on this subject. So I think we're going to see this more politicized. It's all going to be about technology. I see another year where we are going to have a number of people going through this subject and saying, we need disclosure, but disclosure is not happening. It's not happening at all, Dave. Not happening at all. And I feel it's going to be a very disappointing year because we're not going to get any videos. I'd be surprised if we see another video on UFOs. We may get some grain. We may get some out of focus, Bigfoot that looks like, I don't know, Santa Claus flying through the sky on Christmas Eve. But I don't think we are going to get into anything major. And I think this is how they start to shut down the public's knowledge on this. I think the United States military has got egg on their faces regarding this subject. They don't like that. They like to be the premier force of the world and of their country. There's a lot of bragging rights that go along with that. And I just do not see, Dave, this pushing any further. How are you feeling on it?
I'm going to have to agree with us on that one, Dave. 100%. We're not going to see no more pictures like we have seen in the past. That's not coming no more.
No.
I think
Why
there's
would they?
enough people that are seeing stuff and taking pictures that are putting them out there that they're not going to be willingly showing us any more stuff. That's how I feel.
You're absolutely right on that, Dave. Your brilliancy is exceptional tonight. Exceptional. And the fact that you have the ability, dude, to be able to pick that out, that the government doesn't want any more videos released. That's why we're not getting any. Sure, Jeremy Corbell had his little run of videos there for last summer. But I don't think we're getting anything more, man. I don't think we're getting anything more. And I agree with you on that because they really, really, Dave, do not want this going public. Any more questions you have for me tonight?
Well, maybe one more. I know
All
you don't. I know you don't talk a lot about the paranormal, but what excites you right now about it? If you had to pick something right now on the paranormal, what excites you about it?
Well, I'm going to tell you this because usually I ride the paranormal pretty hard. I don't really like it. I think it's a field of that is made up of mainly a bunch of people wanting to have fun. I don't think, like when somebody comes up to me and says they're a serious paranormal investigator, I almost want to laugh. I do. And I feel bad in saying that, but it's like soccer. I don't take it seriously. How can you take it seriously? Sure, there are those that you literally take, you take their word for it. Ross Allison, Jacob Rice, a Merle, David Weatherly, people along that ilk. But for the most part, I mean, look at the world out there. If you're listening in and you know something about the paranormal, 95% of the people are there for the thrill. They just talk big and talk tough. They're like the soccer player who shoves somebody down and thinks he's going to absolutely brawl now. Like, come on. Or a fight in basketball. There are certain things that just shouldn't happen in this world. It's embarrassing. Most of the paranormal is like that as well. But I'll tell you where I have hope. This is where I have hope. And Dave, maybe you'll agree with me. Maybe you'll expand my knowledge on Dave versus Dave. But I think that the paranormal is going to win two ways this year. Number one, I think that a lot of people are realizing that this is fun. Going out looking for ghosts is a blast. It is something that you can do as a hobby if you have an interest, and you don't need to worry about the television shows, or you don't need to put your group together and make it the biggest, baddest team on this side of the train tracks. You don't need that. You're allowed to go out and have fun. But number two is this, man. I think we finally see people, and thank you, COVID. If there is one good thing that COVID has brought to this world, is the fact that all of these places were shut down for a long time. All of these popular hotspots, because as a host, I got sick and tired. Whoa. That was trippy, dude. I literally just had a shadow walk right in front of my screen here, over against the wall. I am goosebumping like anything right now. Holy cow. See what I mean by the train tracks? You're on that side, Dave.
Right about the
You're on that side. Holy cow. Honestly, that gave me a little bit of a heart attack there.
Go easy on the paranormal, maybe.
Nope.
They're coming for you.
Dude, it was like, okay, so this is where it was.
All right.
So right against, on my back wall of my studio, I got like a mini green screen made out of paper, and there's a desk there. And right by that's my son's desk. And right by my son's desk, there is a gnome there with a Christmas hat on. And I saw the shoulders and the head walk right past that green, right against the wall, right through the wall, and gone. Holy cow. I am like pooping right now.
I seen you look over there like somebody was standing in there.
Yeah, dude, that was. Oh, I am totally goosebumping right now. I can't even remember what I was. Well, it should scare you, Dave. We're one and the same.
Yeah, I felt it.
Ooh. Totally. That, honestly, dude, that freaked me out. That totally just freaked me out. But what I was saying about the paranormal, I'll try and get back focused here. I am liking the fact that COVID caused places like Gettysburg to shut down, Waverly Hills to shut down, Alcatraz to shut down from investigation. Not because I don't want those places to make tourism revenue, okay, because that's very important to a lot of museums. And they've tapped into the paranormal side of things on how they can create more revenue that way. But I like the fact that they were shut down because it forced ghost hunters and enthusiasts to go out to locations and find new places that have never been investigated. Whether it's a local museum, the local cemetery, the local hiking trail where people have gone missing, it forced people to be creative. And the one thing that I believe is happening here, man, is we actually have people being creative throughout the paranormal world now. They are going into those small towns to find those mysteries. They're going into the big cities to look for places that haven't quieted down in a long time spiritually. And I think it's good for the field. I think we can expand on the stories and expand on the hauntings that are out there. So I have a lot of faith that the paranormal is going to become interesting again in 2022. How about you, Dave?
Yeah, I think you're right. With all the popular stuff closing down, we also get to see a lot more of the stuff that we've never seen before. Instead of stuff we're seeing over and over again that's investigated by different paranormal teams, it's still the same stuff. But when they take you out into the middle of the woods into a cabin that no one's seen in 50 years, it's fallen down, that's something we've all never seen. Yeah, it's a little more interesting.
I'm going to add a number 3 as we got about a minute to go here. I'm going to say that a lot more investigators that are taking the paranormal seriously are starting to tie it together to cryptids and UFOs. Because, in my opinion, and you'll agree with me on this, it is all one giant phenomena. The paranormal is not just the paranormal. The cryptid world is not just the cryptid world. And, we also have to remember that the UFO world is not just the UFO world either. So it literally, Dave, brings it all together. And I think that's exciting times for us.
It is.
Now, are you going to stick around for the Magic 8 Ball, Dave?
Yes, I can. Yes, I am.
Well, let's do that. Dave and Dave with the Magic 8 Ball, but this ends segment number 1, episode 1 of Dave versus Dave, and we will do it again in a couple of nights' time here on Spaced Out Radio, so stay tuned. We got a jam-packed final half hour of Spaced Out Radio tonight. We have the Magic 8 Ball. It is warming up right now. We have Shirky Poo's news, the thought of the day. Yep. We'll do it all in the next half hour of Spaced Out Radio. We'll be right back. That was awesome.
Good stuff, man. Hope everyone enjoyed it.
I hope everybody enjoyed it too. Make sure after the show you do comment on who won. So as we get my other Dave a little bit more comfortable in this spot, because there's a lot of pressure being Dave, we will start debating a little bit more, and we will start taking each other to task a little bit more. So don't worry about that. We will get it going. You guys enjoy that? I want to see the comments here, guys. Got to make sure.
Come here in the comments.
It's a beautiful thing. I think it's a win, Dave.
Well, all right.
I think it's a win.
Dave to Dave woo.
Mm-hmm. I agree with it. We will be doing this twice a week, everyone. Twice a week on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Yes, sir. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's gonna be fun, Dave.
That Chad Smith messaging you there? I bet you did.
I can hear something going off. I'll go check.
Oh, it's Chad Smith. Guaranteed it's Chad Smith.
Let's see. No.
No?
Nope.
Big Willie even stayed up for you. He doesn't give a shit about me. He gives a shit about you, Dave.
Big Willie told me he was going to bed. I told him he always says that, but then I always see him in chat.
Look at Fab. We couldn't stand one Dave, so why not add another? That's so we could play teeter-totter on your flat head. Hold on. This is awesome. Had to step away to help Hub, so I missed a lot. Who figured out that Sonny would look exactly like Dave dressed up? Who is this? Who is that beautiful genius? I must know. That is Dave. Who's Sonny? No idea who this Sonny person is.
Dave came up with we're both Dave, guys. It's no Sonny here. I am
Michael,
Chad Smith sometimes.
You are Chad Smith.
I am Chad Smith.
Knight Rider, how you doing? Sensational Sammy, nice to see you. That is a nice shirt.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if these are still available in our merch store, but that's where it came from.
They are. If they look down on YouTube, you can purchase your Chad Smith wrench T-shirt.
We can all be Chad Smith, guys.
We can all be Chad Smith. That's right. That's right. We got about 2 minutes. Dude, that was fun.
It was fun. It
Crow
was.
Creek, how you doing, buddy?
I'll get better at it. We'll get going and start debating each other, like you said. I don't know how you work with these locks of loveliness, man.
Oh, your hair looks beautiful. Your hair looks beautiful. You realize the pressure's on for you to come to Vegas now.
Oh man, I'm planning on going to Vegas. I'm saving.
Yeah, so am I. So am I. God, that's funny.
Yeah.
That is.
Anyone that goes to Vegas, if I'm there, we're going to give them a show there too.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah. For some reason, Sunsaver keeps calling you Sonny. Now, I know a Sonny.
Curtis Sonny. Yeah, he's at Paranormal Chop Shop. That's a good channel. Him and Chad Smith kill it over there.
Yeah. He's a good guy, good channel, but I've never met him. Only talked to him on his show a couple of times.
Yeah. Yeah, I've never met him, but he's a good guy. Seen the show.
I heard it. Me too, man. Me too. All right, let's do this. Thank you, Wagon Breath, Flat Earther, Cat Chaser times 2, Obie and John. Here we go. Rounded third. We're heading for home tonight on Spaced Out Radio. My name is Dave Scott. Thank you so much for joining us. We really do appreciate you tuning us on in. Want to remind you that if you missed most of this show or others, check out our free archives by going to youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio. Do old Davey the favor, hit that subscribe button. Our website is spacedoutradio.com. We have a plethora of features for you. Rock out to Bumblefoot, read Shirky Poo's Newswire, check out our swag as well. Follow us on Twitter at Spaced Out Radio, Instagram at Spaced Out Radio Show, and now on TikTok at Spaced Out Radio. We continue on with the show tonight. We got the Magic 8 Ball warming up, and I know many of you love the Magic 8 Ball as we go a little psychic on all of you, because that's the way we do it around here. Magic 8 Ball never tells a lie. Sometimes a little crass, sometimes a little real, and sometimes a little snarky, but it's always the truth. We're going to start off with Cat Chaser here. Magic 8 Ball. Will anyone from SOR hit a jackpot during the Vegas trip? Shake it on up here. The answer is sensors read no. Oh. Now, there might be a little victory here and there for some people, but I don't think anybody's going to hit 1 million or 100,000 or 10,000. Maybe a couple $100 here and there, but nothing big. What does your intuition say, Dave?
Dave, I think we might be in trouble. Last time we were in Vegas, we came home $6,000 richer, and I'll guarantee you Vegas wants their money back.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. That sounds dangerous. So, in other words, we're going to stay away from the slot machines. We're going to stay away from the poker tables.
It's them blackjack tables. They're going to put
all right,
let's
go to Troy. Will Dave win big in Vegas by betting $20 on 19 red? Don't count on it. Oh, do you see a pattern here? 2 in a row? Don't count on it. I don't get it, man.
That ain't good. That's oh, is there more bad answers than good answers in that ball?
Well, I don't know. I mean, let's find out. Magic 8 Ball, do you have any high quality answers for us? Out of fuel, try again later. There's the sarcasm. Oh my goodness. All right. Come on, Magic 8 Ball. It is 2022, a brand new year. You got to give us something good here. Let's go to Big Willie. Magic 8 Ball, chances of both Daves and Big Willie having a shot together in Vegas. Intel looks good. Intel looks good. This is the positivity we needed here. Absolutely.
Yes, it is.
That is the positivity. So for our radio audience, if you're tuning on in, remember, we are going to have the first annual Spaced Out Radio Vegas party. You're more than welcome to come join us. It's a hang around session where we're going to hang out, get to know each other, take some pictures, have some dinner and some drinks in one of the best cities in North America. And we're all just going to party it up and have a good time. April 22nd to 24th. We'd love for all of you guys out there to join us. I know Chuck from KZFX is going to be there. I know Big Len from The Rattler is coming on up from Apache Junction, Arizona. We're going to see if Jody can come and join us from Mississauga, Ontario, because she deserves a trip to Vegas on Saga 960. We need these people there. We need all of you there. So check it on out. We're going to have an update on our website very, very soon. The first 50 people who say we are coming and confirm 100% on our website via email, we're going to have a swag bag for you. There's going to be a gift bag for you in Vegas. So
That's awesome.
Yeah, I think it is too. All right. Will Sunsaver ever get his stuff together and start creating something new this year? Magic 8 Ball says, all clear. You're good to go, Sunsaver. What's holding you back? What is holding you back? The only thing holding you back is you. That's Dave intuition right there. Right, Dave?
That's right. And if it comes from the 8 Ball, it's got to be true.
You got that right. You don't mess with the 8 Ball. Will there be... Now, I don't know if I agree with this type of question or not, but Sovereign asks this, will there be any extracurricular activities at the SOR party? The answer is yes and beyond. Yes and beyond. So apparently, this is going to turn into a very wild party. Thank goodness I will be going to bed early, so such shenanigans do not get taken care of. You know, but I'll leave that to the rest of you guys to figure out. It's Vegas. Do what you want. Really, do what you want. All right. The Fapster is asking, can we have a third Dave Smith? I don't get that. Who's Dave Smith? No, we don't know who Dave Smith is. We're not going to ask that. Peppa is asking, will John Hudson's new facial hair be a Big Willie beard? Now, if you haven't gone on our YouTube channel during the weekends for after hours and checked out Big Willie's beard, which is sponsored by Mighty Moose Beard Oil, I'm telling you, you are missing out. John Hudson's beard, as I see it, yes. Now, I don't see, now, every now and again, I don't really believe the Magic 8 Ball. This is one of those times. John's too California for a nice beard. He's too West Coast. He surfs with sharks. Okay. He plays volleyball on the beach.
Too hot in California for a beard like that, John. John, I don't know if we pull that off.
I don't think he will.
Oh.
All right. Lovely Lynn LeBlanc is asking, Magic 8 Ball, will someone buy me an I Am Chad Smith t-shirt? Yes and beyond. Chad Smith would love to get you a Chad Smith t-shirt. He will even autograph it for you. All right. Even autograph it. Now, Spooky Morales here wants us to have a duet of Mr. Cowley. We'll do that after the show. Mennonite Abe is asking, Magic 8 Ball, will Dave's one shadow person visit Dave 2? Ask again later. I don't think that's going to happen. Dude, that was freaky, by the way. Like, literally, I had every hair on my body stand up.
I seen the look in your face. It looked like someone was standing there. I was waiting for you to say, "What are you doing in here?" or something.
Oh, dude, it was just quick, and it walked right through the wall. Weird.
First time you ever seen that in there?
No. In here? No, I've seen things in here before in the studio, but that was the first, like, dude, it was like shoulders and head walking straight by. And where it is, it would have literally walked right through the desk of my boy's desk. Like, for those who are listening in and don't know my studio, I have a radio studio in my house, otherwise known as SOR HQ. And I have my son, who's 8 years old, thought it would be really cool if he could have a office desk in Dad's office. So I set him up a desk. You know, he's got my 2007 laptop in there that barely runs. I think it's still on Windows 7. And it hasn't been updated in a few years. He's got, you know, a Bigfoot cup with some pens in there. He's got like a ruler and sticky notes and everything, kind of making him feel good, right? And this thing walked right through that desk and right through the cement wall that's behind my drywall. That is freaky. All right. Let's see the answer to that one, by the way. Magic 8 Ball, will Dave 1 shadow person visit Dave 2? Don't count on it. You're good, Dave 2. You are good. All right, let's move on here.
Good.
Is the shadow room or shadow gnome inside Dave's room causing electronic failures? This from Sovereign. It is decidedly so. The gnomes are acting up.
That's what destroyed our control board.
Yes. It was terrible when the gnomes destroyed the $2,500 paperweight now.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Troy is asking Magic 8 Ball, are wives going to Vegas too? I hope so. Signs point to yes. You want to bring your spouse to Vegas? Your partner? Bring them. More the merrier. All right. If Fab goes to Vegas, according to Peppa, will the TSA make him check his head into the baggage claim? Good question. You may rely on it. Fab's head is getting checked. Definitely. Definitely getting checked. All right. Nikki wants to know, will the PsyOps finally quit pestering her? My sources say no, Nikki. They want more. And they will get more. All right. Nicola, will 2022 be a better year for Nicola rather than 2021? It is decidedly so. There's some good positivity. Absolutely, you're going to have a fantastic year. Absolutely, Nicola. Let's put the energy into positivity there. All right. D. Swigger wants to know, the Simpsons predicted the rapture would come this April. Are they right again? The Simpsons, Dave, have been very good at predicting. They really have.
Yep.
The answer is, my sources say no. Not on this one. They are not right. That's straight from the spirit realm there of Magic 8 Ball, so you got to go with that. Let's see if we have any more questions in our audience here, because we are getting close to that time where we have to start winding it on down. All right. The Michael Leger is asking, where is it here? Will Dave number 2's hair ever look as good as Dave number 1? What are you talking about? You have beautiful hair, Dave.
Yeah, it's just a little shoved back behind the microphones.
Oh, I know the feeling, dude. I know the feeling. So let's see. The answer is
Go ahead.
you have my pity. The hair looks the same. Why would you ask a question like that, the Michael Leger? The Michael Leger. All right. Let's see what else we got here. I think we're wrapped up there, bud. I think we're wrapped up for the Magic 8 Ball this week. But thank you to everybody participating there, because we do have to get to Shirky Poo's news. And this is how it ends. All right. A time traveler who says they're from the year 2714 has told the world to prepare itself for 3 major events coming up in 2022, including a warning about everyone's favorite topic, COVID. Of course, many people purporting to be time travelers rarely have any straightforward, breezy premonitions for our future. They usually tend to favor the grandeur of the doom and gloom, whether we like it or not. They could tell us that your roast potato game will peak sometime around March when you serve up the fluffiest, crispiest spuds you've ever made, or that at the end of October you'll be treating yourself to a new washing machine. But no, of course not. We have to focus on the negative. Arguably, there's not much TikTok content to be made from that. So instead, getting predictions about human chimp babies and a new COVID strains, yes. So self-proclaimed time traveler Ari Yermani shared a video for 2022 writing, "There is a lot you need to know." In the clip, and Thin Lizzy, we may want to poke ourselves on this one for TikTok, for our TikTok channel. All right. At Aesthetic Time Warper. At Aesthetic Time Warper. If you want to play along on TikTok. All right. I'll highlight that and post that in our chat room. Oh, my goodness. Where'd it go? Fine. There it is. There it is. 1 second here. I'm still new to this whole internet thing. I've only been using it for about 25 years or so. That's okay. I'm still new. Still new. Anyways, this dude claims to be a time traveler. In a TikTok clip says, "I have been thought of as a fake time traveler for too long. So remember these 3 major dates in early 2022. They proceed to list 3 predictions for the coming year, including the discovery of a sea creature that's even larger than a blue whale. Megalodon. Here it comes. Megalodon's real. Or the Kraken, one of the two. They explain that on March 11th, the first human has a child with a chimpanzee. It can talk and has mixed features. April 19th, right before the Vegas party, a new COVID strain called Omega emerges, 5 times worse than all other versions. Then on September 17th, the largest creature is discovered in the ocean called the Serene Croyne, over 4 times the size of a blue whale. Now, I'm not entirely sure if September counts as early 2022, but we can ignore that. As for the predictions themselves, it seems not everyone was entirely convinced, commenting that they just found the video very funny. And yeah, this guy, obviously not a time traveler. Now, here's an interesting one here. This true story here. Do not laugh, people. Do not laugh. A former 90 Day Fiancé star who made a staggering 38,000 pounds a week in British money for selling her farts in a jar has revealed she has been rushed to hospital. Stephanie Motto recently shed light on her unusual stream of income, explaining how she utilized her 260,000 strong following as her customer base to sell her pungent product. And it sells for about $1,000 American a jar. At one point, demand was so high for Stephanie's flatulence that she was producing up to 50 jars worth of farts a week. However, she may have squeezed one a little too tightly, as a reality star actually was injured by this. I think she's got hemorrhoids, personally. She made a hospital dash. She said, I thought I was having a stroke, and these were my final moments. I was overdoing it. The 31-year-old recalled how she consumed 3 protein shakes and a huge bowl of black bean soup in one day before feeling that something wasn't right with a pressure in her stomach that moved upwards throughout her body. It was quite hard to breathe, and every time I tried to breathe, I'd feel a pinching sensation around my heart. Honey, you don't need a doctor, you need a toilet. And that, of course, made her anxiety escalate. She actually called up a friend saying, could you come over and drive me to the hospital because I think I'm experiencing a heart attack? Stephanie, who hails from Connecticut, arrived at the hospital later that evening but didn't tell the doctors about her unique career, only that changes were made to her diet. It was made very clear that I was not experiencing a stroke or a heart attack, but very intense gas pains. Yeah. So what has she done? She's retired. This scared her. This scared her right out of her ass. It scared her. All right. She's retired from selling farts in a jar, a relief to her family, but she has managed to find another unique way of making money from her followers. Yeah, they will no longer be able to have a physical fart jar of Stephanie's gas, but they will be able to purchase them as digital artworks on blockchain. My goodness, this lady is a marketing genius. Thought of the day is as follows. What are your resolutions for 2022? Rose, to continue healing and growing. No fear for Jim. Nikki, I never make New Year's resolutions because I never stick to those. They are useless to me. Evan, buying tickets to the Whitecaps in Vancouver. So I responded, sorry to hear you wasting good money on soccer. I hurt for you. Science Bob, solve an amazingly hard technical problem. Lee, 1080p. Andrew, to eat more breakfast for dinner. Oh, that's terrible. Susan, be on your show again. Let's do that, Susan. Danny Matthias, swim with sharks. No way. Davey, I'm going to give a Wim Hof method a go. Whatever that is. Ron, never to make one. It has been successful. Dave, I resolved to make no resolutions. Terry, to finally master my fanning style for playing flamenco guitar. Oh, I'd like to hear that. Dave, I never make them anymore. I just try to live my best life day to day. Jaretta, to not have any resolutions ever. Eric, hold my beer and watch this. Chris, to get HD coverage of the Sasquatch 10 away eating a Kit Kat. Luis, otherwise known as the Lip Blade, catch more fish, set up offerings for Bigfoot, and be rich. Jan, show more appreciation for those in certain industries. Okay, we had to edit that one. Joe, I resolved to get off the car warranty expiration call list. And that's where we'll leave it right there. Thank you for everybody participating in the Thought of the Dave. We'll do it all again tomorrow. Thank you to Shirky Poo for the news. My twin Dave for Dave versus Dave. Swamp Dweller. And, of course, Geraldine Orozco. We got Mr. Ron Bubblefoot Thaw rocking in the background with Little Brother is Watching. Bubblefoot is the official music of Spaced Out Radio, rocking us in and out of every single show. Get your horns up for the guitar god himself. Special thanks to everybody listening in at home, at work, in your cars, wherever you may be. Thank you to everyone in our chat rooms tonight. YouTube, Twitch, LGAB, Revolution Radio, Spreaker, Facebook, the Space Travelers Club, and on Twitter at hashtag Spaced Out Radio. I know you're out there somewhere. Remember, this show is copyright by Spaced Out Radio and SOR Media Ventures Limited. Thank you so much for choosing to share your evening with us, because together, my friends, we own the night. Mr. Bumblefoot, we need a favor. We need you to take us home. Yes, the Woo train has docked for the night, but soon, my friends, we shall ride again. Your seats are always available. Your tickets never expire. And if you want to bring a friend, we've got room for them too. Good night.
Good night, guys. Thank you.
I'll get you trained up yet.
Yeah, man. I'm used to being quiet during that part. Getting the finger.
Oh, dude, that fart story, man. She 38,000 a week she was making.
That is, and in pounds.
Okay, so what's 38,000 pounds a week?
Gotta be like
Convert
$4,500.
pounds to US dollars. Hold
It's
on.
like 45, I think.
So 38,000 pounds is $51,429 a week.
That is crazy.
Dude.
I thought at first it was just a joke, and then I was trying not to laugh, and then
How can you not
Yeah.
laugh? Chick was making 58 or 51,000 a week.
Who's buying
Selling
that?
selling her ass stink. Who does that? Honestly.
It's a toss up. I mean, is it worse to sell it or buy it? I just don't
You
get
know,
it.
this is what makes no sense of the male culture to me. Okay, it's like
No.
these same people. It's like the same people who will pay for OnlyFans, but they got Pornhub for free. It
Yep.
makes no sense to me.
Nope.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's just unreal. And I thought it was more like
$1,000
45. You're talking $54,000 a month.
a week.
A week?
A week.
I
She
thought
was
you said
making.
a month.
She's making. No, dude. She is making $200,000 a
Oh,
month off her farts. So you think every 5 months she's turning $1 million profit off her ass, which she's now retired.
If
You
she's
do
making
that
that
for
much.
yeah.
Yeah, if she's making that much money, Big Willie could sell it by the keg, probably.
Oh, of course he
He
could.
could retire.
Oh, of course he could. But
That
at
is ridiculous.
$1,000 a jar. Okay, $1,000 a jar.
That is, it's just mind blowing.
That's 51 jars a month. Now, obviously, it probably took some time to build up that sick clientele, right?
Yeah. How do you market that?
How many were bought as gag gifts?
Literally, when you open them.
But think about it. How many of them now are going to end up on eBay at double or triple the cost since she's retired her butt? Just saying.
Man.
This was an investment we didn't even know about.
Could have stocked up on
Telling you,
jars full of farts and
we should have known better.
made a
We
profit.
should have known better.
Paid for the Vegas trip.
And then some.
Yeah.
And then some. Oh, wrong one. Joti. Terrible. I think that was a very successful first Dave versus Dave.
Was all right. I thought so too.
Did you really shave that in?
I shaved that in.
That is nice. I didn't expect you to do that. I expected you to stay with the full beard. That was a beautiful. That was a beautiful, beautiful surprise on my end, dude. Beautiful surprise.
Yeah. Yeah. If yeah, we go back to full beard, it'll be there.
Oh,
Let us
dude.
do that at work.
Yep. That is just crazy. Your hair looks fantastic, by the way.
I try. It's a little curly right now.
I'm giving OB Flet a follow on Twitter. I am. There it is. Boom. Done. Just like that, OB Flet. Bang. Done. All right. So this is all edited. It is way too hot in here now. I've had the heater going for a while. It is now officially too hot in here. I'm like sweating.
Yeah, I take the jacket off. I had 2 heaters going. Shut one heater off and got rid of the jacket, and it's still a little warm.
Oh, man. People don't understand the cold we live in, Dave.
That's right. It's freezing here.
Totally freezing. I just wish it was your type of freezing than my type of freezing.
Even the bears wear coats around here.
Oh, my God. That's terrible. How do they survive? How will any of us survive? I don't know. I don't know. Lynn LeBlanc says, I love you, Dave, but I don't want your farts in a jar even for free. Was that you? Did you just rip one?
No, that was me trying to hold back enough.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's sad. If that lady's charging $1,000, we can't give them away for free.
I know. What's wrong with our ass? Let's just be honest here.
It's got to be worth at least $500.
At least shipping and handling. Rafaela in Czechia. Am I saying that correct? Czechia? That's the way the junior hockey team wanted it pronounced. Czechia instead of the Czech Republic. Love Dave 101. You're looking gorgeous, Rafaela. High Pack Woman on Twitch. How are you? Tay Waz, how are you doing? There's gorgeous Gloria. Hey, gorgeous Gloria, are you joining us in Vegas? Are you coming to Vegas? Gonna come hang out with the old people? I think you should.
Vegas is fun. Man,
Yes,
Vegas
it
is
is.
fun. Oh my gosh, it's fun.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I told our sugar mama earlier this week that we needed to go to Vegas, and I'm pretty sure she'll make that happen for us.
That's good. We deserve it.
Yes, we do.
We deserve it.
We need a day off or 3.
We're good people. We're good
Yeah.
people. We need that to happen. Dry Toast, by the way, thank you for the super chat earlier. I know I saw it pass here when I was reading the news. I got to scroll way up here. I don't know how. There it is. Thank you, buddy. I really appreciate that. Were there any others that I missed? I hope not. Nothing worse than missing something. Drives me nuts. No, I don't think so.
So
You should bring your mom, gorgeous Gloria. You totally should. It's Mom's birthday. She can have fun with us. We know how to have fun. Don't we, Dave?
Yes, we do. I know for sure we know how to have fun, especially in Vegas.
Hello, Noble Patrick. How are you, buddy? All right. Like this. Like that. Your editing skills are awesome, Dave.
Yeah, I'm getting good at it.
Mm-hmm.
I've been practicing.
Yeah. I can't wait for my cabbage to kick in.
You're gonna start jarring that stuff up, huh?
I am going to totally start jarring it up.
You gonna retire early?
I do have an idea that I may put together here soon. I just have to finalize it. But I may have a little bit of fun for all of us. Well, not all of us, just some of us. Big Willie's OnlyFans channel will get going. And for the first 3 $100 donators, he will donate his pasties to your cause. Big Willie pasties. It's all for Vegas. First 3 $100 donations.
They don't need them pasties anyway. I heard they all run around naked over there at UFO Garage.
I'm so glad I missed that.
I haven't seen it yet. I got to go back and we got to go back and see that. We haven't watched it yet. We're gonna.
Oh, those guys are nuts. By the way, Ben and Joe will be coming to Vegas.
It's gonna be fun. I can't wait.
Oh yeah. Absolutely. Dude, you have no idea how much I need a vacation. When I leave for Vegas, there will still be snow here.
Shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, when you leave from Vegas from here, it takes you about 46 minutes on a plane. That's it. It's 5 hours if we drive. It's not too far.
Oh, Chad Smith has made the I'm Dave Scott t-shirt. Thank you, Chad. I appreciate that. That is awesome. I'll post it here. That's Chad Smith right there. There's the I Am Dave Scott t-shirt. That's hilarious.
That's pretty cool.
I may get that. Stop the burning on my credit card right now, though, for a little bit.
I know that feeling.
Oh, God, yeah. Oh, yeah. Excuse me. Oh. I had to work outside and handle some crap with my boss this morning. I forgot my gloves inside. Dude, like within a minute, my fingers were like painfully sore. It was so bloody cold out.
Yeah. I wouldn't be able to close my hands if it got that damn cold.
No, it sucks. It totally sucks.
Yeah. What you don't have to work outside, right? In that you were just going out there to help.
I don't have to work outside. I was just helping my boss with some stuff. I'm one of these people now, dude, who literally had to, ladies mostly do this, where they bring that extra pair of shoes to work, so that way they have their indoor shoes and their outdoor shoes. Yeah, I was that guy today. I brought my extra pair of shoes in so that way I could have my indoor shoes and then my outdoor snow boots.
Well, you got to be comfortable. We got to be comfortable at work.
We have to.
That's
it's a
right.
long day. It's a long day. People don't understand what we go through.
It's rough, but we make it happen.
Right. Thurston, Howell the Third, how are you? I think Big Willie's off to bed. There he
Night
is.
there, Willie.
He's got such a nice beard.
He does. The other night, I had him, Gemma, and John playing in the bedroom. And me and my wife were going to sleep. And I told her, "Is the TV bothering you? You want me to shut it off?" And she said, "Will you shut up so I can hear Big Willie's voice? He's trying to talk me to sleep." She told me to shut up so Big Willie could talk her to sleep.
Just boom like that, eh?
Yeah, just like that, eh?
Mm-hmm. That's right. That's right. Do I really have that many mannerisms that you've picked up on?
A couple.
Really?
Yep, I know. I drink Caesars now. Because you can't
Those
see
are
a Caesar
good.
without wanting a Caesar. That's how they market them up there, eh?
You got that right.
Yep.
So were you able to find real Clamato juice?
Yeah.
They have
Yeah.
Clamato juice down there?
Even had dill pickler juice in there.
Las Vegas, true story. Las Vegas is the biggest import for Clamato juice in the world to supply Canadians so that way they can make Caesars.
That's right. They're good. One of my favorites.
Oh, they're fantastic.
Mm-hmm. That, and I heard you talking to the Newfoundland guys earlier. You don't want to mess with those guys.
The
One of my
Newfies,
favorite
they're
sayings.
nuts.
One of
They're
my
nuts.
favorite sayings they got is, I think it's, "What's after what's happening now?" Well, that's what comes next. What are we doing after this?
We just kind of BS our way. That's all we do. We're right now what we're doing is we're taking our edits and making them into MP3s to send to in 6 segments. I'll show you here. Hold on. I'll show what we're doing here. So right here, what we're doing is we've taken each segment of the show every half an hour, broken it down into a format, and we're converting them from a WAV file to an MP3 file to send to the radio stations. So that way everything's timed out and commercialed out for them. Pretty cool, eh?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So that's what we're doing.
So each one of these is a break where you had your commercials, right?
Yeah. So for instance, between SOR 1 and SOR 2, that's a commercial break that they'll fill in on their end.
Yeah, I was always wondering what we were doing back there, clicking and clacking after the show. I can see you back there working.
It's always working going on. There's always work to be done. Always. What's this going on? By the way, if you go into the Aeropuerto Internacional Felipe Angeles Airport in Mexico, the entire bathroom is filled with lucha libre pictures. The men's bathroom. I have never wanted to go into a bathroom so bad. Everything has lucha libre pictures on there. There's even women walking into the lucha libre bathroom. Wow.
That's pretty
This
cool.
is fantastic.
We have one of those shirts, right? And
we have the El Ovni Volador shirt that you can
yes.
pick up. Everybody needs an El Ovni Volador shirt. I love that shirt.
Me too. Wasn't aware we had it till I seen Ben with it on. I was like, where'd he get that at?
Ben designed it. He surprised me with it one day. I'm like, no way. He's like, yeah, dude.
Yep. Ben's a good guy.
Spooky Morales has an El Ovni Volador hoodie in red. Good night, Pack Woman on Twitch. It is seriously hot in here. Just so you know, Clamato actually stands for clam juice and tomato. Just so you know.
Yep. Nasty stuff by itself, but you add vodka. That's good stuff.
Oh, yeah. Did you add the celery salt around the rim?
Celery salt, too.
Nice. And a little bit of Worcester's thrown in there?
And Tabasco.
Wow.
Yeah, they're good. Got to stop at one Caesar, though. I keep drinking those. Yep. It won't take too many.
Yeah. Much like the caramel apple martinis I made for New Year's night. Holy cow.
I seen some of those that you were making.
Oh, dude, they
look good.
Yeah, they literally hit me. They sneak up on you. So if you want a good tasting martini, take some sourpuss apple, some butter ripple liqueur, and you shake it together on ice with apple juice. You get a caramel apple martini, and it's way too powerful. It's so good. It's so good. I don't like a lot of drinks. Okay, like I'm not a drinker. I come from a family of alcoholics, so I'm very, very careful with my alcohol consumption. And very rarely do I actually even have alcohol in my house, but I was craving the martinis on New Year's Eve. Craving them. So
yeah, I definitely don't drink like I used to. I quit when I was 19. Yeah. No more drinking for me, except just a drink. If I drink, I don't keep drinking anymore. Not after one or two is like all I drink.
My dad's youngest brother was a hardcore alcoholic. Alcoholic. Yet he was one of the most brilliant people whom I had ever met. And long story short, he was working and he had a contract, with a signed contract that he was trying to get funding for building glass manufacturing plants in China. And this is now going back a number of years ago. And he was within... Now, my aunt and uncle didn't have any children. I was the closest child to them. And he was within 8 hours of signing a $1 billion deal. Okay, where he would have got funding of $1 billion to create these glass manufacturing plants in China and then ship the glass all over the world, right? And so he decides in one of his anxiety rages while he is drunk to call up the bank and say, I need the money now. And they said, sir, your deal will be completed in 8 hours. And they said, sir, or he's like, no, I need it right now. Let's close the deal right now. Otherwise, we're done. We're not doing business with you. We'll go elsewhere. And the bank literally said, see you.
Oh, no.
And yeah. So literally, my chances of becoming a very wealthy man ended that day because I was the next one in line.
Yeah.
And it really, really sucked. It
Yeah.
really sucked. He died 16 months later of a massive heart attack. They brought him back to life. But due to the years of alcoholism, his kidneys and liver gave out. And that was it. So that one's a little hard to get over.
Yeah. Yeah, man. That's just I know I don't know if I've ever heard of anybody that's called and done something like that drunk and blew that kind of a deal. That is just that's unbearable. How do you wake up the next morning to that? After
Yeah. And the other guys who were helping him, who were kicking their asses this is before cell phones, okay? Were kicking their asses that they didn't pull the phones from his house. They were all like, you got to be kidding me. And they tried getting on the phone with the banks and sealing everything up. And they were just like, no, we want nothing to do with amateur play like that. Not at this level. We're not interested.
Man.
Yeah. So that kind of sucked.
Yeah, I bet, man.
Oh, dude. Yeah, that kind of really sucked.
Yeah, I've never had to make a call like that before. I've never had to make that kind of call for that kind of money.
Oh, it's terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible. But what do you do? I was never there. I don't know what it's like to have it. I don't know anything. So it's just a pipe dream that didn't happen, man. Total pipe dream that didn't happen.
Well, maybe everything does happen for a reason. That's why we're here doing this now.
Right?
Yep. We need this
Right?
more.
Totally. Yes,
Yep.
because I want a podcast for free.
That's right. That's right,
You
man.
know?
Get all this knowledge out
Get the knowledge out, buddy.
and unline them pockets. You
Getting the knowledge out.
tell us everything you know and give us all your money.
Oh, man. Let me see here. What are we doing here? I got to do this now. Hold on. I got to upload files to KZAX.
Spaghetti Lee's been drinking again. He said he's seeing double.
Nice. You know what I find funny is I do all this work for the radio stations. Yet there are people out there who say that I'm making up the fact that I don't broadcast on terrestrial radio.
What do they think you're doing?
I don't know. It's the same people who say that I'm buying followers.
Oh, yep. Followers get expensive.
Oh, there's the gorgeous Pinzer Flactum. I think her and her hubby are coming to Vegas.
It's going to be good times.
The big bad Spaghetti Lee. He's got great hair, man. Spaghetti Lee has fantastic hair. Fantastic hair. I don't know if Spaghetti Lee is coming to Vegas or not. There's rumor. We're not sure.
Spooky. Are you going to Vegas, Spooky?
Spooky Morales is going to be there. I think we'll end up with like 25, 30 people there. I really do. I think we'll end up with like 25, 30 people there. And I think it's going to be really cool.
Yeah, it'll be
maybe
a good
more.
Party.
I think I will be honestly very flatteredly shocked, if I could say it that way. Horrible English. Flatteredly shocked if we get 20 people.
You don't have to twist my arm too hard to get me to Vegas.
Yeah. So I think it's going to be cool. I really do.
Yeah, I can't wait, man. But I'm a Vegas guy. I love Vegas.
Oh yeah. Are we playing poker? We got to play at least one poker table.
Blackjack. We'll pay for the trip.
All right. Are you that good at blackjack?
Pretty good.
I don't even know. Keep your secrets to yourself. We don't need anybody figuring out who you are, Dave.
We've been practicing a long time for that game.
Where's our bodyguard tonight?
Off duty. Too cold for him in Canada.
Wow.
I don't think Papa Willie can leave the country. They don't give him a passport.
That's terrible.
He charged by the pound here for passports, and we couldn't afford one for him.
Oh, damn it. That sucks. Oh, man. Oh, we got things done early today. Manuel Silva, JJ, how you doing? Remember, people, April 22nd to 24th, Las Vegas. This is the early itinerary for Las Vegas, just to read it over for you. This is courtesy of the lovely Lynn Wallington. Night number 1, we're going to meet at 8 o'clock at the Stratosphere Center Bar. Have some fun there. It's at the far end of the strip. Saturday, we'll all gather around, around 1 o'clock to have some lunch together at the Hard Rock Cafe. We are still thinking about renting a banquet room to see if we will do one live show for you guys. And then after that, we'll all head over to Planet Hollywood. And they got a lounge there called Extra that we'll hang out at. And then on Sunday, for those who are staying till Monday, at 5 o'clock, we will meet at Treasure Island's Gillies Saloon for some good old-fashioned barbecue. Yeah, it's going to be a good time. It's going to be a good time.
You ever been in the stratosphere before?
Oh, yeah. Been right to the top. I rode the ride that shoots you right to the top.
No, you didn't.
I did. I'll tell you which one I did chicken out on, though. And I was actually the other two I chickened out. That one that drops you off the edge.
Uh-huh.
I was in the front seat for that one, and I panicked, and I got out before they started. And then the big claw that moves you out, I was stuck in there, and there was a bachelor party on it. And as it was going around, all you could hear is all the bachelor guys, pussy, 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 pussy. Because I was waiting for my buddy. Yeah, I totally had a panic attack on there, which is weird. I have never, ever had a panic attack on a ride before. But that one I did. I made the mistake of looking down.
Yeah, it's way up there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they have a lot of new stuff there that I haven't even seen yet.
Yeah.
It's been a minute since I've been there.
Well, they had to take the roller coaster off about 10 years ago because it was starting to crack. The vibration from the roller coaster was starting to crack the foundation.
Yeah. Yeah, that used to shoot you right over the edge, that roller coaster. It went way out over the edge.
Yeah, I was okay with that. Roller coasters, I'm fine. But that claw, and then they move you out so that way you're facing down? No way, man. No way. Yeah. A funny part about it is, like, the one that shot straight up, you know, that one that sits on the top of the tower, I did that no problem. Would do that again. It was scary as hell because you don't realize how windy it is up there. And the wind, like, you could feel the wind blowing this thing as you're shooting up and down. And you're like, damn it, this is gonna like cause some serious damage. Right?
Yeah. Yeah, and then it doesn't just shoot you straight up. It kind of shoots you up and out. And then,
No, not on that one.
Oh, no? I thought it shot you up and out over the side.
No, that's a different one. Didn't do that one. No bloody way. No bloody way. Was I doing that one? Nope. All right, we are done loading up the shows for tonight. And Spooky Morales, time to get the trumpet ready. Tomorrow night on the show, Connor Flynn, otherwise known in our chat room as Bigfoot Anon, is going to be with us. And we're going to be talking Sasquatch all night long. We're going to talk about his popular TikTok channel. He's got over 30,000 subscribers. We're going to chat a little Bigfoot with him tomorrow night, which is absolutely awesome. And we get going at 9 p.m. Pacific, midnight Eastern. And, of course, we'll have more Swamp Dweller. We'll have John back for the Unbiased UFO Report. I think things are looking good here. Things are looking good. I want to say a big thank you to all of our wrenches, all of our regulars in the chat room for hanging on out with us. And thank you to all our veterans tuned in. You always have a safe home here in our chat room. Big thank you tonight to Dry Toast, Wagon Breath, November 3rd, Flat Earther, Cat Chaser ×2, Obi Flet, and Music John for the amazing super chats tonight. Remember, guys, the super chats is always a wonderful way to support what we do on Spaced Out Radio on a nightly basis, and we really do appreciate it. And a big thank you to all of you for tuning us in tonight. And my special Dave here, my brother from the same mother.
That's right. Thank you for having me.
That's good plaid, man. That's good plaid. Very good plaid. You know, we only wear jackets like that up here when it's at least minus 10 Celsius.
That's about how cold it is here.
Yeah, sure. Sure.
It's 38.
Yeah. Oh, man, that's T-shirt weather.
Yeah,
T-shirt.
this is
I know. I know.
It's not too
I
thick.
know. It's thick. Look how thin mine is, dude. Look how thin that is.
It's nice and warm over there.
You got like double the layers on than I do. That's awesome.
Long johns under there too.
Oh my goodness. All right, let's say goodnight. Spooky Morales, time to play some trumpet, man.